Hello and welcome to our Batman Forever review. Batman Forever was released on June 16th, 1995, and it is one of the greatest Batman movies of all time. And we are live, we have a live chat open, so if you're watching on the archive, we might be addressing people in the live chat, so there you go. We have Richard in the live chat. And by the way, this show is brought to you by Richard because he super chatted us saying, hey, would you guys do a review on this movie? So we said sure. And it took us about a month because I got sick. And Eli had some stuff he had to do for work. But we're here.
We're here now.
Now that's impressive.
So,
which one will it be, Eli Man?
Eli Man.
All right. Let's go. All right.
Gotta make the choice, man.
What were you going to say?
Just a crazy... if you're looking at this from modern perspective, there's a lot in this movie that's just like, holy crap, how cheesy is this? Even for a movie from 95, you're just like, oh, why the hell is Batman, like, like even as Bruce Wayne, he's kind of like, everyone's kind of got this whole like 1950s...
Who's Bootleg Wayne?
Bootleg Wayne. Bruce Wayne, like everybody has this kind of 1950s kind of like method acting kind of thing they're doing in the movie. And I think a lot of it really is paying a tribute kind of to the 66 show. They even make a lot of references in the movie to harken back to the 66 show too.
Are you talking about Batman Forever or Batman and Robin?
No, Batman Forever. There were some like hints and throwbacks at the 66 show.
I'm glad you picked it up because I kind of didn't. RWK88, buddy, how you doing? We have a live chat going on, so we're addressing them. If you're watching on the archive, we're not talking to ourselves.
No, we're not. But yeah, Robin when they're like kind of towards the end on the final scene.
The holy thing, that's a tribute to
the holy thing. They did that. Riddler did a couple little things.
The Riddler was a complete... Jim Carrey purposely wanted the role to pay tribute to the original Riddler from the TV series. That's where a lot of people, they don't understand because, you have a lot of young people today making videos about how crappy this film was.
Right.
And it's like, my man, you got the wrong film.
Yeah.
That's the next film. This film, in my opinion, was a perfect summer blockbuster film. And I was there. I was a little kid. What was I in 95? You're talking 10, 11, 12 years old. We couldn't even get into the theater. And so I'll tell the story for the 1,000th time. Mamaroneck Playhouse. It was me, Ryan, and my friend J. Dean. Our parents dropped us off there. We were all going to see Batman Forever, the three of us. Parents drop us off, they leave. We go to the box office, 3 for Batman Forever, and they go, I'm sorry, it's sold out. The only movie you can see that's PG-13 here is Forget Paris.
Forget Paris.
So, the three of us bought tickets for Forget Paris because we didn't have a cell phone or anything. Those really didn't exist. They kind of did and they kind of didn't. Like, they weren't, like, readily available to everybody.
Yeah.
So we couldn't call and have our parents pick us up. Plus, our parents probably went out. They were doing stuff. They figured they're at the theater for a couple hours. We're just going to go shopping or whatever. So we were stuck there. 3 of us go in the movie. Movie starts. My buddy J. Dean goes, you know what? I'm going in Batman Forever. And Ryan wanted to go. I was like, Ryan, we got to stay here, man. We can't go into Batman Forever. If we'll get in trouble.
You're right.
Jaden goes in Batman Forever. Me and Ryan are in the theater. Ryan really wanted to go with him. It's like, Ryan, do you really want to get in trouble? And he was all pissed. He was like, I really want to go in there. Why won't you let me go there? So we watched Forget Paris. It was an okay movie. but we were 12 years old.
Wasn't Batman.
That's a movie for adults.
If I was like a kid back then, I would have like, man, this ain't Batman. What the hell are we watching?
So, when I went to the bathroom during Forget Paris, Mamaroneck Playhouse, they had windows that you could look through the doors.
Yeah.
Yo, I looked through the window and I saw people sitting on the floor in the walkway in Batman Forever. The place was packed. Obviously, it was sold out, but you had people just sitting on the floor. There wasn't enough room. Then you see the internet in 2022, and this is the worst movie ever made. They lost their deal with McDonald's, which was false. Because of Batman Returns, they didn't do the McDonald's thing, really? Because there's McDonald's cups and everything that we got for Batman Forever. This was one of the worst films ever made. The bat nipples had ruined the whole movie, and nobody saw it. It was the biggest movie of the summer. And even Frank looked it up on Game Complainers. He looked up the box office for this film. And he was like, yeah, it's made a lot of money. What do we have in the chat room here? Kevin, how you doing, buddy? Even the Nostalgia Critic talks to him. Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck him. Still have not seen Forget Paris. It's a Billy Crystal movie, so it's going to be good. Funny, comedy type thing. It's a comedy romance. Romantic comedy. There you go. That's the old term we used to use in the 90s. Wasn't affordable back then, cell phone. Yeah, no, it was just done. Trainwreck, what's up? This film was a hit back in the day. Yes, it was.
It was great.
We'll get into that. So just to let you guys know, I don't care who says what about anything. I was there, and I will tell you, the theater was sold out. This movie was all over the place. Commercials, toys, McDonald's, everything. All
I had
over
the toys.
Place. This was all over the place. So, people can say what they want, but to be honest with you, their parents probably weren't even together when this movie came out. Which means they weren't born until like 10 years ago. So, what are you going to do? Sucks to not be there, I guess, right? I like Billy Crystal and When Harry Met Sally. This is kind of like that. I mean, well, not this movie, but Forget Paris is kind of like that, but not really.
Right.
I think Marge Simpson's in it. The woman that voices her, I think she's actually in the movie. Anyway, forget that. I was born in 2005, and I remember when the movie came out, LOL. Exactly. A train wreck. That's what a lot of people on the internet say. Okay, let's get to the movie. So, a little backstory here. Michael Keaton talked to Joel Schumacher. Tim Burton was taken off the project because they said Batman Returns, even though that was a huge movie, and a lot of people did see it, it wasn't as big as this film, though. It was a better film, but it was a different film. This movie was the summer blockbuster.
Yeah, like retroactively, I think Returns was kind of like, people weren't really, it was like too dark for people. A lot of people felt that way about it.
Well, that's why they took Burton off.
Yeah.
But they still kept his production company for this film. And they still kept some of his concepts. Schumacher really didn't want to come in and step on him completely. So he said, okay, let's see what he's got. And I'll add my stuff. And then the studio stepped in. Because Schumacher has a cut of this film. Even though he's gone. He passed away about a year ago. Maybe 2 years ago now. He has a cut of this film that was never released. And they said the cut of this film is a little bit darker. And it makes the movie even better. Which it's hard for me to believe because I thought this movie was cut pretty good. But a lot of people want that cut to come out. Whatever. We probably never see it. Maybe one day somebody will put it out. I don't know.
On the next DVD.
You know, they could. And they would make money.
Yeah.
If they threw that on HBO Max, because it's Warner Brothers, that would be another revenue for subscriptions right there. Hey, if you want to watch Batman Forever, the Schumacher cut, you got to join HBO Max to get it. And people will join that thing just to see what the hell that movie's all about. There's been a lot of buzz about that for about 10, 11 years now. So, anyway, let's get to this film. You want to open it up?
Man, so it opens up with the bank robbery, right? And I think that's the scene that like Perry always makes fun of the most with that security guard. That guy was
That guy, come on, he was overacting completely.
he did not fit this movie at all. Like he
That
was
guy,
way too freaking.
Dude, someone told that guy, hey, you're in the 50s Batman movie. Or 60s Batman movie. Well, when did that original Batman movie come out?
Yeah, like the 60s or something like that.
I had it on Blu-ray. Let me tell you something. I watched that when it was on TV when I was a kid. If you want to compare it to the Sinister Six type thing, all the bad guys team up against Batman and Robin in that film, and that's a good movie.
Yeah, it's really.
It's a really good movie. Anyway, someone probably told him, "Yeah, this is the movie that you're in. We're gonna make it black and white and everything. So just act like you would watching that show or whatever." The guy was overreacting completely. I don't know what the audience was thinking because I wasn't in the packed theater.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right. That was a throwback for the most part.
That guy was hilarious. I mean, he shows up again as I don't know if he's the same character, but like during that
really quick, I think Kevin brought up a good point. I was finishing the story.
Yeah.
They talked to Schumacher. He presented it with Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton was like, "This movie needs to be a lot darker than that."
Mm-hmm.
And he said he was out. He was really out because he's a Tim Burton guy. If Tim wasn't involved, he wasn't going to be involved. So he was out. I would have loved to have seen Michael Keaton's Batman go up against Jim Carrey's Riddler.
Right.
And I think Chris O'Donnell and Michael Keaton would have worked good together. And, we might get that.
Yeah.
Might get that because of the whole Flash thing. Michael Keaton's back as Batman in 2022 in the new Flash movie. And they're keeping him as Batman. They're keeping Rob Patterson as the Batman, but they're keeping Michael Keaton as Batman.
Yeah.
So maybe, hey, we'll talk about the end of this film. Maybe Jim Carrey's Riddler cross paths with Michael Keaton's Batman. I know he's retired, but he just said that because he wants to see how much money Sonic 2 makes.
Yeah.
And Chris O'Donnell, maybe they'll put him with Michael Keaton finally. Because Chris O'Donnell said he'll come back in a heartbeat to play Robin, so... Alright. So, we're at the bank scene. Because I forgot to wrap that part up, but now we're at the bank scene. The security guard. What is this man's name?
I don't even know. It's like... Did he even have a name? Was he just like security guard number 1 or something? Like, the guy he had the most lines out of any extra in the entire movie.
This guy looked like he was 65 years old. And then we'll talk about, when this scene ends, what's said to the guy.
Yeah.
The guy is a big fat guy. He looks 65 years old. He's got hearing aids. He's got glasses. He's got shitty rubber shoes. Hello, Alchemist in the chat room. How you doing?
What's up?
And then at the end of the scene, we're going to talk about the scene, but at the end of the scene, Commissioner Gordon goes, "You'll be okay, young man." And I'm like, young man? This guy's older than Commissioner Gordon. So, okay. So the security guard's tied up. Two-Face, played by Tommy Lee Jones. He's talking to him about what's going to happen. Batman's going to come in and this and that. He's like, "Are you going to kill me?" And he goes, maybe. He flips the coin or whatever the hell. So Tommy Lee Jones, really quick, since he's introduced in the scene.
Yep.
And even as a kid, I said this, and obviously everyone online knows this. He was playing the Joker and not so much friggin' Two-Face.
Yeah, like Two-Face is really like in the comics. He's like a real sinister, just like a crazy sadistic
right,
bad guy.
Just like the cartoon at the time.
Yeah, he's not like
at the time of this
outrageous.
film.
He's more like yeah, I'm gonna flip this coin. Boom. Okay, now I'm gonna kill you. And that's when he like kind of comes out. But it's like here, Tommy Lee Jones, he's jumping all over the place. He's laughing. He's like freaking doing cartwheels and backflips. I'm like, okay, I think he's a little too much for Two-Face, but I mean, he's adding some personality, some flavor to the role. So, um, a funny thing about this movie from when I was a kid, I honestly, when I used to watch it, like on reruns when it come on TV or whatever, like I do not remember Tommy Lee being in the movie for this long, like the entire movie. I remember him like halfway through the movie, and then the part where he falls off the cliff. But like, I don't remember anything.
Hot
Before
take
that.
here: Batman's barely in the film.
Oh yeah, he is like
This
it's
movie is all Jim Carrey and Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah.
More Jim Carrey.
You get the scenes with Bruce Wayne, and just real quick too, like he tries to be going back to the cartoon. He tries to sound like Batman from the cartoon when he's like in the suit and everything. Like
That's
when he's
in the
talking
very
to
beginning.
people.
He comes off like Two-Face in the very beginning in this scene right here.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, he's running around like the Joker and shit, like you said, doing cartwheels, backflips,
Yeah.
all this crazy. He makes fart jokes when he's about to put the gas up to try to light Batman on fire in the one scene.
Yeah.
Anyway, security guard. He put him in. He puts him
They
in the
lock
vault.
him in the safe. Yeah.
He had him in the
vault.
safe. So Batman's played by Val Kilmer, which I thought was a good Batman, but a crappy Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
Some people will disagree. They're like, well, he brought out the goth emo type of Bruce Wayne. Michael Keaton to me was the perfect Batman and Bruce Wayne.
Mhm.
Val Kilmer, I think, was a really good Batman, not so much of a good Bruce Wayne.
He came off kind of like 1930s romance movie Bruce Wayne. Like he didn't come off like Playboy Bruce Wayne, who's like smoothing it. Like he really came off like those old romance movies. Like it was kind
He
of weird.
came off like Val Kilmer. If they say, hey, Val Kilmer, play yourself in this Batman movie, that's Val Kilmer. But I do give him credit for being really good Batman. I liked him as Batman. When he had the mask on, he was good.
Yep.
Keaton is 70. Well, guess what? He's still the best Batman.
He looks good for his age too. I mean, this guy was fucking the Vulture. Like he was real good.
You realize it came full circle for him, right? Because he stepped away for a long time. Then he made some horror movies, White Noise. And then he did Birdman, which is a play on him playing Batman from back in the day. It's a play on like his life.
Yeah.
And to play Birdman, and now he's fucking Batman again? He came full circle with that. That's crazy. That's really crazy. And when they had casted Ben Affleck as Batman, Warner Brothers wanted an old, grungy, older Batman. And they went with Ben Affleck. And I was like, just get Michael Keaton. And then Michael Keaton did Spider-Man. I'm like, all right, so he's Vulture, he's Lockdown, which again is another Birdman. Then the Ben Affleck thing fell apart, and they were like, let's just get Michael Keaton. I was like, thank you.
It's a long time coming, man. Like
It's a
him
long
coming back
time
to
coming.
the role.
And you know what? This is it for him. This is his final hurrah. So, however he goes out, at least we're getting a couple of more Michael Keaton Batman appearances, and that's pretty much it.
They definitely they have to do.
Right. Yeah, he looks the same.
Yeah.
By the way, quick trivial note. Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas. But because there's Michael Douglas, Michael Keaton changed his name to Keaton. Not legally, but stage name. So that's a fun fact for anybody that didn't know that. Oh, but look as good as Michael Keaton when I'm his age. Isn't that crazy? He looks the same. Like he never aged. Yeah, he's got gray hair now, but
he looks exactly the same as he did. And he'll look even better as like an older Bruce Wayne. Like
that's what he's playing. He's not playing a young Bruce Wayne in the new Flash movie. He's playing literally his timeline, the Burton timeline, didn't change. Alfred's gone because it's literally like the time, the current day. Alfred's gone, and it's just him. He's an old man in the mansion.
Yeah.
So it makes
sense. Do
that.
And they can introduce Batman Beyond now with Michael Keaton as Bruce Wayne in the Batman Beyond universe. If they do that.
If they connect it like that. I think a lot of fans would prefer Batman Beyond be its own thing.
Yeah.
And he could do Bruce Wayne in that. But if they're going to move that way.
Yeah. But, I think it'll be its own thing, but again, because of the multiverse thing, it'll be connected in a way, but it won't be like the same thing, I don't think.
AJ do a kill him or anything. He just had, I think he still has cancer, like throat cancer. So yeah, he ain't doing him any favors, but he's really sick.
Yeah.
Which is very sad, actually. But, yeah, so we're at the bank scene. We got to move away from the scene.
Yep.
The guy's animated. He's in the safe. Batman jumps in. But before that, he talks to... Oh, look at that.
No.
Batman jumped into your room over there. He talks to Nicole Kidman. He talks to Commissioner Gordon. Then he jumps into the thing. He jumps into the safe. Rips the tape off the guy's mouth. And he goes, "It's a trap!" Like it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then the vault closes. Then, not making fun of it. Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm just letting people know that, because since we're reading the chat, I'm letting people, like, giving them context for the podcast. I know you're not making fun of him. He's in the vault. The vault starts moving. Batman doesn't know what the hell to do. Then the vaults open, the little vaults that are in there, I guess the money vaults or whatever, that are inside the main vault, open up and there's stuff coming out of it. And the cop goes, "Oh no, it's boiling acid!" It's like, how do you know what that is? And if you knew beforehand, if Two-Face told you, why didn't you tell Batman before the vaults open?
Right.
Yeah, and then
so
Batman's like, "Yo, I gotta get out." He grabs the guy's hearing aid, the young man's hearing aid, and he goes, "Hey, that's my hearing aid!" And Batman's trying to get the combination thing. He's trying to hear, like, the clicks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the guy just screams, "My shoes are melting!" Like... Like, this scene is so animated.
Like, that guy had the most scenes out of anybody. This movie in that one, like, moment.
Batman gets... He opens the vault. He gets up. He hooks the friggin... What does he do? He cuts the vault from the helicopter?
Yeah, he cuts the vault and he shoots, like, his, what do you call that shit? The grappling hook into the helicopter to hold the guy up or what, and shoot him out of it.
Right.
And he's like...
Then he shoots the vault to with the grappling hook to a building. I don't remember that whole thing.
It was like he shot it
last week.
He shot it back into the bank, like, perfectly, like, on the spot somehow.
Yeah,
like,
and he tells the guy, "Hang on." And he goes, "Hang on." And then the fucking vault flies down, and this old fuck, it sounds like a little kid is screaming, "Whoa!" It's not like... Yo, I don't know how somebody screams like that, because I would have been like, "Holy shit! Help!"
I don't know how he held
motherfucker, I'd be screaming like Homer Simpson. I wouldn't be going, "Whoa!" I don't know how that sound came out of that man.
Dude, it was
to this
freaking
day,
hilarious.
I still don't know. The vault flies right back into the thing perfectly, slides right into the railings. What was the helicopter, like, circling around the building?
Yeah, like, was he not trying to get away from the building? They, like, crashed through a sign and everything.
Siren. Exactly, that's what it sounded like. So he's like, "Oh!" Okay.
He's like traumatized from
Commissioner
getting
Gordon comes in. Hey, get down, young man. I'm a young man. This guy's 65 years old. He's got hearing aids, glasses. He has shoes that don't fucking fit. Rubber shoes or whatever. He said his shoes were melting. Anyway, Batman is still riding the thing. He gets up. He jumps in the helicopter. He tells Two-Face he needs help. They're fighting each other. Two-Face, this was a joke. Because at the time, a lot of cars were getting broken into and stolen.
Yeah.
So people would buy this thing called the Club.
Yeah,
It's
fucking...
Literally
You put it on the steering wheel.
Club. You pull it out, put it on the steering wheel, and you lock it. That worked for like 5 minutes before thieves were just getting saws and just sawing off the fucking Club and taking it off the car. They would saw off the Club, steal the car, and put the Club with a car in the parking spot. So you come outside and you see the Club on the floor. That's a thing. So this was a joke for the Club. So Two-Face puts the Club. Now anybody in the future is not going to get that joke because this was actually a part of pop culture back then. He puts the Club on the controls, the wheel of the plane, the helicopter.
Why a helicopter has a
And
wheel?
Batman can't figure out how to fucking get this thing off. And I'm like, dude, you just fucking blowtorch the chain off of a bank vault thing. You can't just do that. So he jumps out. This thing hits a Statue of Liberty, which I thought Metropolis was New York, not Gotham.
I thought freaking...
Is Gotham like Long Island and fucking Metropolis and Gotham? I mean, is Gotham New York and Metropolis is Long Island now? Like, how does this work?
I don't know. He's from Kansas. He goes to Kansas, but he's also he's Superman, I guess. But why is the Statue of Liberty is in Gotham?
And if he's across the river, why didn't he come help him?
Yeah, where was he? Where was Superman? All this is going down.
He was dead. In the comics, right?
No, I think he was just coming back. If not, he was like already back.
Gotham is meant to be near New Jersey. Yo, motherfucking New Jersey don't look like that.
I like it, dude. It was like, you see what the city looks like behind me? Like, that's what...
Yeah.
It's like a mix of that, but with like 1950s like decor and like freaking weird bridges and ramps and stuff from like Matchbox
Dude,
cars.
the Brooklyn Bridge. They're at the circus in this movie, and it's literally next to the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they go to the freaking the financial district. They're at the building over there.
So the Statue of Liberty, the face gets all cut up, and Batman looks up, and goes, I don't know if he was gasping for air or he was like, the Statue of Liberty's messed up. We're still figuring that out. What he was gasping about. But yeah, the Statue of Liberty, because the helicopter, the blades cut the face off, it's got half a face. So it's like a symbolization of Two-Face and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then they cut to the next scene, which isn't it, what is the next scene? Does it go directly to Wayne Enterprises or what?
Yeah, it goes directly to like Wayne Enterprises. He's showing them around, and then Edward's got the whole idea for that.
Edward Nygma, who's Jim Carrey, who doesn't have fucking duct tape in this movie.
So he's showing them around what all the scientists are doing. He's coming out. He's like, "Hey, I got this invention right here." He like shows it off a little bit.
Yeah, and he's like, "I need to know now if you'll approve this invention." And Bruce Wayne's like, "No, I'm not going to tell you. It's interesting, but I'm not going to approve it on the spot."
Yeah.
And he goes, "It just raises too many questions because of the whole brainwave thing and all that."
Yeah, the whole thing was the device was like it can control or it can program TV in your mind, or like so you can like absorb whatever knowledge or whatever is there from the TV. Now
basically,
like
what Microsoft's doing right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't help but think about Xbox when that.
It's the Kinect. He invented the Xbox Kinect. Um, but yeah, so there's that, and then Riddler's like, Edward Nigma. He doesn't necessarily become the Riddler, but he's obviously on his way there, and he's like, "Oh, you didn't approve my invention," and gets like all bitter and stuff
But
about
he's
it.
got Bruce Wayne magazines all over his
Yeah,
cubicle.
he's like a fanboy, and he's like fanboying out at freaking
And
Bruce
who
Wayne. He's like, "Oh my god, I met you one time."
who ripped this character off in a movie that came out 10 years ago? Was it 10 years ago? No,
I
it
don't know.
was 8 years ago. An Amazing 2? Eli, come on, man. We talked about this.
Yeah, freaking Electro, Spider Man.
Exactly. Electro, before he became Electro, he's literally Edward Nigma.
Like he's like this nerdy electrician guy, and
When
it's
I
like,
saw that movie, the minute I saw him simping for Spider-Man, I was like, yo, he's the Riddler. They stole the Riddler's character and gave it to this guy.
yeah,
Only Jamie Foxx looked like ass in that movie.
at least they fixed him in the new Spider Man.
Yeah, and the new one. And
He
they
looks
even
like
brought
Jamie
that up. They're
Foxx.
like, how come you're not nerdy anymore? And he's like, oh, I guess my powers like did something. Anyway, yeah, when you watch that film, you're like, that's Batman Forever. That's Edward Nigma.
Yeah. Which I don't even know the original story to the Riddler, to be honest, so I can't even give context on that.
Yeah, these Burton
I
slash
bet it's so
Schumacher
long ago.
things, they kind of do their own thing. Like the Joker kills his parents. That's not really the whole thing, but they
Yeah.
did that to tie it in. Burton, I think, did a good job with that.
Hmm.
Um, so he gets mad, and his boss is trying to like tell him like stay away from Bruce Wayne and all this shit. So what's the next scene? Where does it cut to next?
Um,
You watched the movie tonight. I watched it a week ago. I just can't remember where the scene's cut. I mean, we could just talk about the movie.
yeah. So bang scene. So I'm reading the comic book. I have the comic book at the same up right now. The comic book is essentially the movie. However, all the scenes are like in a weird order. So like the scene with Riddler and Bruce at Wayne Enterprises that happens before the bank robbery for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. And then like the circus happens after that. Like it's a weird order of a movie. So just from what I remember, this is kind of when he starts morphing into the Riddler a little bit. He's
Well,
like leaving the notes around,
Okay, but
just like
that
the calling
happens.
card.
That happens after he kills his boss. Let's just
So
talk about the
yeah,
movie. This way, we're not in any particular order. We'll try to go in order as much as we can.
yeah, because my brain's like it gets scrambled
I
too.
watched it a
Like,
week ago. He claimed to have watched it tonight, so we'll see. But
yeah.
all right. So anyway, I think it cuts to Wayne and all this stuff. Bruce Wayne.
Hmm.
He's Nicole Kidman's character is in love with Batman, so
For
he's
some
trying
reason.
to see where she's coming from. She's a psychiatrist. He tries to go to her because he's trying to figure out does he want to keep being Batman and all this crazy stuff. And he thinks, okay, maybe Batman should just fall in love with this girl, marry her, and move on with his life.
Mm.
So they get in scenes like that. Then he invites her to the circus. And this is where Two-Face takes over the
Yeah.
circus. And you have the Graysons, the amazing, are they called Amazing Graces or the Fantastic
Yeah,
Graysons?
like the amazing flying Graysons.
Right. So they're up there. They're about to put their little spot on. Two-Face takes over. Everyone's shooting everything. He gets on the thing. And he goes,
He's got
which
the
one of you
bomb.
pasty-faced people are Batman or whatever? Pasty-faced twits are Batman.
Yep.
And then the mayor just fucking screams at him, what the hell do you want, Harvey? And he said, Batman, broken, dead. And you got Edward Nigma watching the circus on live TV. And he's like getting popcorn. He thinks this is great. He starts laughing at the TV uncontrollably.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone's going crazy at the circus. And our buddy Val Kilmer, Bruce Wayne, he's right next to Chase Meridian, who's Nicole Kidman's character. Everyone's screaming, and he just randomly gets up and goes, "Harvey, I'm Batman!" Nobody can hear this motherfucker. Nicole Kidman's sitting right next to him. She doesn't even hear him or look at him.
No.
I'm like, yo, you're right next to the guy.
Yeah, he looks around. He's like, I'm just gonna run
The
off.
minute he stood up, when she looked at him, like, what are you doing?
Right.
He stands up, she's looking this way, and he screams, "I'm Batman!" And nobody gives a fuck. And then he looks around like, yeah, that was kind of a dumb thing for me to do.
Yeah.
He somehow finds a back door, jumps out the thing.
Yeah, finds time to change into a suit, which I don't even know.
No, wait a minute. He didn't turn into Batman yet. We're getting that screwed up. That's later.
Yeah, that's a little bit after.
That's when he's at the party. So he's just stuck in the circus thing. The Graysons, the bomb is going up, and the Graysons are like, yo, we could stop this bomb. So they all work together. They're trying to get it out of the circus.
Yep.
And Robin, he's basically following the bomb up. He gets it up by himself. He gets rid of the bomb. But Two-Face notices that they're like trying to get rid of the bomb, so he shoots up there.
Yeah. He shoots the trapeze, or he disconnects a piece of it while his parents are like...
His parents and his brother or sister?
Yeah, his brother.
They fall and they're done.
Yeah.
And Bruce Wayne sees that and he gets fucked up. Because he remembers his parents. Carlos, what's up, man?
Los Cruz.
In the comics, his reference to being obvious in movies. He's not wearing a trash bag, LOL. Harvey, I'm Batman. I gotta put that in the soundboard. There's a lot of clips from this movie. A lot of quotes. Good and bad. Like, the whole movie is pretty much quotable.
It's funny, the way he screams it, though, like, he's not screaming it, he's just like, it's like he's talking regular. He's like, "Harvey, I'm Batman!" And everybody's like, "Ah!" All around him.
Batman! And nobody I think Commissioner Gordon is sitting next to him, too.
It's him, Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon, mayor. The lady, is that the... No, the mayor was at the bottom.
Was he? Yeah, okay.
Because the mayor was like, "What the hell do you want, Harvey?" Dude, the mayor's acting like he interrupted a dinner. This guy is at the circus, like, threatening a bunch of people.
Right.
The mayor's like, he doesn't give a shit. But yeah, Commissioner Gordon, I think his girlfriend...
Yeah.
Because this lady was in Batman and Robin. On top of that. I don't know who that lady is. Maybe it's his wife. I have no idea. They didn't explain anything.
It's not. It's just some lady.
I want to see the movie again. It's been a while. Get the 4K. Looks really good. I watched it on a 75-inch TV. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So they're dead. I'm laughing because I don't know where I'm going with this. They're dead on the floor. He's thinking of his parents. Robin finally he gets rid of the bomb. The bomb rolls into the river or whatever, and that's it. Or the ocean, whatever we're by. I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah, they were like, they were like, I guess in a warehouse or whatever, and he like just tossed it or into the water and blew up.
He wasn't in a warehouse. He was climbing the top of the building, and then he threw the bomb. Then he looks down, see his family's dead, and he's fucked up. So then we go back to the Wayne Manor, and Robin's brought there. He's like, because basically Bruce Wayne wants to bring him into the house. He wants him to stay with him. Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, I'm just going to fill up my motorcycle with gas and I'm going to cut out. You're just saving me the paperwork here with social services and stuff like that." Which I didn't know that was actually social services was actually a thing in Gotham, but I guess so.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of social services when I'm watching a Batman film, but okay. So he thinks Bruce Wayne's a rich idiot. And he's like, hey, I got a bunch of cars. He goes, yeah, what are they, piece of shit cars or whatever? He takes them into his, like, garage,
It's got like 50
which
different
has a
freaking
gas
cars.
pump in it. And it's got a million cars. It's got all these bikes. Doesn't he call one of the bikes the Dark Knight or something?
Yeah, he made like a reference to, Batman name or something like that.
He
It's like the
mentions
Dark
Nightwing
Knight.
later, too, which Robin becomes
Yeah.
Nightwing.
Yeah, Robin's listing off names and stuff, like, and he mentions Nightwing. So that was kind of a cool throw to the comics there.
So, and the 50s or 60s Batman and Robin, that was their costume at the circus.
Yeah.
So that was a throwback. So that's really cool. He sees he's got all these cars. He's like, holy shit. And he goes, hey, if you can fix them, you can keep one. And that's how he got him to stay. Robin and Alfred kind of have a pretty good relationship.
Yeah.
Which is Alfred. I mean, this is still connected to the Burton films. I know a lot of people, they don't think it is, but it is. Because Commissioner Gordon, Alfred are the constant in this universe.
Right.
And what was it? There was something else too. He does mention his parents were murdered by a maniac, which is Joker.
Yeah, they don't. I guess because they didn't want to use footage, obviously, of
they
Jack
show
Nicholson,
Joker in his dream sequences, but they don't show the face. They show the gun,
the
long gun, but they ain't getting Jack Nicholson for this movie.
No.
So I don't know. Well, we're just gonna keep going because I can't remember scene by scene.
Yeah, they make the reference to the Robin because he's got like the helmet, and the helmet has the design on it like a Robin and everything.
Yeah.
So he's not like called Robin just yet until like.
Well, no, he mentions that something about a Robin, and Alfred said, instead of throwing your clothes away, I think Robin will fly again, or whatever the fuck. Or he had a Robin on his helmet.
He had the Robin on his helmet. Yeah, and that's where the reference came in, and he was like, okay, and he made the reference with.
And then I think we cut
Alfred.
to Batman in a speed chase with Two-Face's goons. You show the baby carriage, and it's really Two-Face with a fucking rocket launcher. Batman does something with the Batmobile. That rocket hits Two-Face's guys, kills everybody. And I think this is the scene where the Batmobile flies up the building.
Yeah.
While all the cars are crashing and everything. So Batman escapes, blah, blah, blah. Then you cut to Two-Face at his lair. I think so, if I remember this correctly.
Yeah, Two-Face is at his lair.
He's got Drew Barrymore as his girlfriend. He's got the woman from Beethoven, the second Beethoven movie. The evil lady with the dog.
Yeah.
That's his other girlfriend.
This is when the Riddler finally shows up, full gear and everything.
The Riddler found his house. Well, the Riddler full gear. We have to go back a little bit that we missed. Jim Carrey's on the computer, and he's trying to figure out, what am I going to call myself? And he started with the riddles already. He left the riddle at Wayne Manor already.
Yeah.
We're fucked up because we didn't see this movie tonight. I saw it last week. He thought he saw it tonight.
I saw it today. It's just I don't remember the orders of things. Like, I don't write anything down. I just go off of what I remember. So
worst review ever, but we're doing our best. So
yeah,
the riddle's already started. He's not the Riddler yet. He's on the computer, and then he looks at the little Voltar-looking thing in his house that does the yes or no thing, and he's dressed as the Riddler. So the assumption is he broke into that Voltar thing, ripped that guy's clothes off, and made them his clothes.
Yeah.
So he shows up here at Harvey's lair as the Riddler, and he's telling him his whole plan. And Two-Face is like, "What the hell are you doing here? How did you get here?" And he basically says, "We're gonna toss this coin. If it's heads, you live. If it's tails, we blow your damn head off." Something like that.
Yeah.
And you see the coin flip up, and they're
it
robbing
cuts, and they're
a jewelry store
robbing-
together, so you know that he didn't lose.
Yeah.
And it's Jim Carrey like, "Oh, we got a good one here," and then Tommy Lee Jones like, "Here's a good one. It's a huge diamond." So they're basically robbing all these places so they could get money to create the box.
Which is the invention that Bruce Wayne turned down.
Because this guy, before he killed his boss, we didn't even talk about him killing his boss.
Yeah.
Dude, we're all over the place. After the Bruce Wayne meeting, he was trying to get this thing to work, and his boss comes in and starts screaming at him and fires him. Well, I think before he fired him, he put the box on him. He knocked him out.
He knocked him out, tied
him
up.
With a coffee can. Caffeine will kill you. And then he tied him up, tried the box on him, saw that it worked. And when he stopped, the guy was like, "You're fired, you're terminated," right? He's still wrapped up in the chair. And he basically throws the chair. It's got a cord on it that he's wrapped up in. Window breaks. He's like, "Oh my God." And you're thinking, he feels bad he's going to kill the guy. And he's like, "No, I just need the helmet." And he fucking pulls the helmet off and goes, "You're terminated." Kills him, makes it look like he redid the video so it looks like he killed himself.
Yeah.
But that's how he knew the box was going to work. And what happened was he didn't realize that the box was sucking up that guy's IQ and making him smarter.
Which is the whole thing in the movie.
It's the whole point of the movie that we missed.
The Riddler is, he's using this box to take not like the IQs of everybody in the world.
To make him smarter, so he'll be the most smartest person in Gotham.
Yeah.
Not the planet,
it's weird,
the world, but the Gotham.
It's weird. You kind of have to you kind of piece it together because it's kind of like it's the major point, but in the beginning, it's not really like, okay, he's got the box, but it's kind of like the secondary thing. The whole thing with this movie almost was like, okay, here's here's Nicole Kidman and Batman.
This whole movie's about revenge.
Yeah.
It's about Jim Carrey getting revenge on Batman Bruce Wayne. And it's about Robin getting revenge on Two-Face.
Yeah. And then, Batman has the whole kind of side conflict.
And it's pretty much Batman.
Does he want to be Batman, but
deciding what fucking toilet paper he's going to use tomorrow.
Yeah. There was different, smaller plots, but, with the cut we were talking about earlier, there was that giant bat scene that could have expanded some of the stuff that... Because Bruce was having that whole conflict, like you were saying, where he was like, do I still want to be Batman?
Let me stop you with the giant bat. You can continue on that. I guarantee you, had they left the giant bat in the film, today... people would have said, that movie's a piece of shit, it's a giant bat, what the fuck kind of scene is that, blah, 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 blah. I guarantee you that would have been a negative on this movie today.
Yeah.
Even though today you look at the clip and you're like, that clip kind of defines the film for Bruce Wayne. That's his arc, being completed.
Yeah.
But I think if you left that in there, that would have been considered corny and cheesy. Mm-hmm. So I think that them cutting that out was a good thing for the audience at the time.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't have understood.
Because I guarantee you, a Batman Forever review right now, if they would have left that in there, would have been that fucking bat. That giant bat.
Yeah.
So it's good it was a deleted scene. But if they ever release that Schumacher cut, that's in it.
Yeah.
So it'll make the movie make more sense. But back then, it was all about the summer blockbuster. Look at Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber was cut perfectly. Because when you get the unrated version, it is the most disgusting movie you've ever seen.
Boy.
The cut version, the theatrical version, it's like the funniest film ever made.
Yeah.
So, shout out to those editors and stuff like that. Anyway, so we're at what? They're stealing to get money for the box.
They're stealing to get money for the box.
Jim Carrey dyes his hair fucking brown again, and he's has a press conference. He goes, the box. Every home in America, and they're all doing the box and all that, and they showed a little joke with him and Two-Face trying to get enough brain power.
Yeah. It's literally a blender the box. It's a blender with like these freaking green things
Will it blend?
attached to it. It was.
It's
The most.
It's Project Hobart by Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's green and everything. It looks just like. So.
Maybe that's why they stole the name. No, it was Direct Xbox. I know that, but it's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So yeah, that whole press conference scene, they show the whole thing with all the people having it. It's already a hit, even though it's only been like 2 days. And all these people have it in their homes already.
And nobody asked him how he got the money for it.
Right. He started this whole company and everything in like under 2 days. Like it just rushes to that point. Like he's got his own company now. There's no really explanation or anything. It's just he's got the box, and then all these people have it, and now he's getting all this IQ power from all these people all over the world that have it. So
it's funny though. At night, he dyes his hair red.
Yeah.
And cuts it into like a buzz cut, but the next day he's got regular brown Jim Carrey hair.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's really
but
weird
then
how he grew his hair after cutting it. He grows it magically overnight, cuts it the next night. This guy's got. I think the box is making this guy grow hair. Maybe I need that.
I think so too.
Ridiculous. Man, what was after that, man? This guy,
you had the whole.
What? This is where he invites her to the circus, right? The scene after this?
Yeah, so they go to the circus. That happens.
We already talked about the damn circus. Never mind.
We talked about the circus. What I'm remembering is Robin he's in the mansion, and he's like,
yeah, this is where he finds out. Robin finds out that Alfred's Batman.
Yeah. He's screwing around. He's like doing parkour all over the mansion. He freaking drop kicks the door.
Wait a minute, you missed the best part. When Alfred screams, "Master Dick!" Because Robin always wants to know what's behind that door. And Alfred made a joke. Mr. Wayne's dead wives or whatever. So finally he sees a door. Alfred goes in there. And he's doing all this parkour shit like you said. The door is like ready to close. And he's still flopping around the top of the mansion. And he somehow flies right into it. Crashes through the hidden door, which is like a cupboard. With like twists. And then all of a sudden, he falls down the stairs. The Batmobile's there. It says intruder alert. Fucking Alfred's looking at him like, And Robin's like, holy shit, Alfred's Batman.
It's the Batmobile.
And Alfred gives him a look like, I'm Batman. This is where... what?
It was a funny way to like kind of introduce the whole secret of like, the Batcave. He finds the Batcave. But it's just so like, I think and again, this is maybe the cut version of this film will expand a little bit on it, because he just kind of just stumbles into the freaking room and everything. He's like, oh, the Batmobile, and he just takes it.
Okay, so Bruce Wayne's with Chase right now at the meeting, and he's having the flashbacks of the Joker and all this shit. And she gives him the little dream doll, or he sees the dream doll or whatever. And then he gets called on his little Apple Watch, which didn't exist back then.
But he has
Dick Tracy watch with video. And Alfred's like, Master Grayson took the car. And he goes, the Jaguar? No.
No, the other one.
The car. Oh, the Rolls Royce? I don't know if he said Rolls Royce. He goes, no, the other car. Then Robin's driving through the friggin' hood over there. With the Offspring playing. This has a beautiful soundtrack, by the way. Highly recommend it. One of the best soundtracks of 1995. Then he sees like this girl in trouble. He gets out of the car. Oh no! At first he's driving up to the hookers.
It was
he
like
drops the hood, and they're like, because the hookers are all touching the car, like, ooh, Batman.
And the gang members are like on the side fucking with the girl, and they're like, holy shit, it's Batman.
Wait a minute! But then he opens up the hood, and the hookers are like, that's not Batman, that's Batboy. And then the gang members are like, "That's not the bat," and they take the girl into the alley, and he goes in there, beats the fuck out of the guys. The girl's like, "Oh, doesn't Batman kiss the girl?" Well, first he tells the guy, "I'm Batman," so they kept the "I'm Batman" line again.
Yeah.
The girl kisses him. The girl runs away, and he's like, "I could get used to this superhero stuff." Then the guy whistles. There's like 75 guys jumping down the fire escape. And then Batman shows up and everyone fucking runs away. And Robin's punching him and beating him up. He's like, "You son of a bitch. You could have saved my family. Why didn't you do it?" And he's telling him, Bruce Wayne could give his life for your family, he would have. Which is a fucking lie. Because the mayor fucking called out Harvey Dent. And this guy, Bruce Wayne, admitted he was Batman when everyone's screaming and yelling. Nobody could hear anything. It said him walking down to the thing and said, "I'm Batman." Anyway. Then they showed him at the Batcave. And he was like, "Oh, I thought I was fighting Two-Face when I was punching you." And it's like, wait a minute. No, you weren't.
What?
You just called him a son of a bitch and you could have saved him. You were beating up Batman. You weren't thinking about Two-Face. Anyway, Bruce Wayne is like, "I don't want you to be my partner. I don't want you to get into this." And he goes, "How do you know? Your family wasn't murdered by a maniac." And he goes, "Yes, they were." Without saying his name from the previous 2 movies.
Yeah.
So he tells him they're the same, and that he shouldn't look for revenge and all this stuff, and whatever. And then when he says no, Bruce Wayne, he talks to Alfred, man. He goes, "You're encouraging him to do this." And all this other shit.
Yeah.
So,
he wears the carnival suit at some point in the film. Like the actual Robin, like carnival style suit, like from the comics or whatever. I don't remember exactly what
he
point.
wears that in the next thing when they're at the dinner party.
Okay.
Because they go to the dinner party, and they both have their suits in the trunk, which is funny, because Alfred's helping Bruce out, and then he's helping
him out on the side.
Yeah, he's helping Grayson out on the side. Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
We'll just cut to that, because I don't remember what the hell happens in between. When was it? This was okay. Okay, so they got to the dinner party, because this is where they find out that he's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
They want him to try the box. And he's like, "Nah, I'm not trying the box," or whatever. Then Drew Barrymore is like, "What are you trying to do?" Because he's trying to, like, turn off the machine. He goes, "How do you turn this thing off?" And she takes the little thing out, the little fuel cell. He goes in there, and then she sticks another one in there. And he gets sucked in, and they can read his mind. And then you see him looking at the bat flying towards him. Then all hell breaks out by Two-Face. This is Edward Nygma's party for the box.
Yeah.
And this was kind of planned, but it wasn't supposed to go on that quickly. Two-Face breaks in. He's starting to shoot everything. Bruce Wayne hears all of it. He jumps out, finds a back door, goes down the fire escape. Gets his bat suit out of the car. I don't know how the hell he could put that on in the middle of the street. Nobody sees him, but he did. Then Robin runs around the car, and he gets his suit from Alfred. Batman goes in there, beats some people up. There's a lot of really good fighting scenes in this film.
The fight choreography was
even
really
in the beginning
good
at the bank. At the bank.
Yeah.
He's beating the shit out of those guys. Oh, remember? And this is the part where he breaks into the thing, and that guy goes, "Ah, Batman! Ah!"
Yeah, it's the security guard.
No. Oh, yeah, right? Because he's old.
It's the same guy.
It is?
Yeah, he's got the glasses and everything. It's the same voice.
I thought it was a different old guy.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. It was like the guy comes back later as a different character. They're in the dinner party.
I didn't know that. I have to go back and watch that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, He's there. He's fighting everybody. Blah, blah, blah. They lure him out of there down this, like, sewer thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where Two-Face is down there. And he turns up the gas. And he's going to fucking fire the thing, the rocket launcher or whatever, and light him up on fire. Bruce Wayne knows there's gas, so he throws his cape over himself, turns on that, like, thermal thing or whatever. Thermal temperature thing? I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, it like protected him
The
from
stuff that they use in the movies for, like, actors. Like in Freddy vs. Jason, they threw the shit all over Jason, the stunt double.
Yeah.
And they lit him on fire. He's literally on fire walking around, but he's not getting burned by it. He turns that stuff on. The fire, like, engulfs him, but it doesn't hurt him. Then Two-Face is like, why won't you die? He shoots all the lead on him or whatever it is. And he's buried. Then you see Batman stick his arm out, like Freddy Krueger or something. And then you see Robin grab his arm. And I don't know, what happens after that? What's the next scene?
That actually might have been might have been the first scene you actually see Robin. So this was probably the part where they have that argument, like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this" or anything like that.
So we screwed that up.
So yeah, whatever. After that whole thing, I think
he tells him to fucking leave, or he leaves on his own, because then we're gonna get to the invasion, the home invasion.
Yeah,
it's Halloween. He invited Chase over again. The kids are trick-or-treating, whatever. Because now they know he's Batman, so they know where to go to get him. And they cut to the scene where Riddler and Two-Face are together, and he's like, I got a secret. And he goes, riddle me this. What kind of man has Bat on the brand? And Two-Face is like, oh my god. And he's like, you're a genius. And they're hugging each other and shit. I'm like, what the hell is this? Two-Face went, like, super soft.
There was a lot of weird scenes with, like, him and Riddler. They were like a freaking odd couple.
He went way too soft with Riddler. So they go to the house. Robin's leaving because they got in an argument or whatever the fuck it was. He took all his stuff and he's getting his bike. He's walking out of the Batcave with his bike. And then the home invasion starts. They pretend they're trick-or-treaters. Alfred lets them in. They knock out Alfred. Throw him in the closet.
I just can't believe Alfred fell for that. Like, I don't know.
So
they needed some.
They go in. They send Two-Face's guys in there, and Bruce Wayne is fighting. It's funny. He could fight people anywhere else but his own house.
Yeah.
Which is weird, right?
Yeah, I don't think he had told Abby or whatever Chase. I don't know why I said Abby Chase.
Abby.
That fucking Abby, because there's a character.
Watching?
There's a character called Abby Chase in one of the comics, and I'm like, what the? I was like, I'm getting the name swapped.
Chase Meridian in this film.
So this is probably before he tells her about his identity.
He's trying to tell her he's Batman at this dinner.
He's trying to tell her, yeah.
Which he's had a history of doing that. In the last film, he tried doing that too.
Yeah.
Although not Chase, Catwoman.
Yeah. But they get chased through the house. Freaking.
Doesn't she drop flowers that are on his thing? And he's like, oh. Like,
yeah.
And then he sees the Joker again, and his parents are dead. It's like, enough with the parents.
Yeah, the parents got shot like twice in this movie.
The parents make more dead appearances in cinematic history.
Ugh.
There's more scenes of his parents dead on the floor than there are Batman movies at this point. Give them their own fucking movie at this point. You're promoting it.
Well,
make the Waynes. At the end of the movie, they get shot. The whole movie, they're doing all right until they get shot at the end.
Yeah.
They should twist that. At the end of the movie, instead of getting shot, they get attacked by a bat. Or a vampire. A vampire kills them.
Yeah.
You could set up Batman vs. Dracula. I know they got the cartoon movie, but you could do the actual film.
Do it.
Anyway, Two-Face is flipping the coin. Do I shoot him and kill him? Do I shoot him and kill him? And then he shoots him. The gun like hits his cheek or his face or something and knocks him out. He rolls down the stairs. They grab Chase, the gang guys or whatever. She's gone. Two-Face is about to fucking blow his head off, and Riddler's... Oh, we didn't talk about... Okay, before this, the best scene in the movie. The Riddler finds the Batcave.
Yeah. And he's like throwing all the fucking bombs everywhere.
Well, he finds the Batcave, and he's like mesmerized.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes, now that's impressive, when the car comes up and everything. I guess the minute you enter the Batcave, the car comes up. Which has got to be annoying. But he sees this place, he's got his bombs, he's throwing them, he's making baseball jokes and references, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So, after that, Two-Face goes to blow his head off, and
knocks him down the stairs.
Riddler screams, no, don't kill him. If you kill him, he won't learn nothing. They put another riddle next to his body. They take Chase and they leave.
Yeah.
Alfred wakes up Bruce Wayne, says, Master Dick is gone. They took Chase Meridian, and the Batcave is destroyed. So, they're trying to figure out the riddle. And how does Robin come back again?
So he gets that prototype suit. So Batman gets the prototype suit to go find Chase.
Right.
Now
then all of a sudden Robin comes down the stairs in his
Robin,
new armor, which is pictured
and he has
here,
a new suit,
which is badass, by the way.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember how Robin comes back.
No,
comes back.
He comes
he
down
just
the
shows,
stairs.
like he shows up.
Yeah,
pretty
he
much
just shows up as Robin in the new suit.
Yeah, there's no real
There's no
explanation for it.
He must have come back. Maybe Alfred somehow had his phone number.
Yeah,
his cell phone number that he didn't have in the movie. I don't know.
Because they didn't show it.
Alfred's
like, it's
a fucking genius in Batman and Robin. I mean, this guy built all these prototypes and shit. Built all these ships and everything.
Well, he's getting tricked by freaking Two-Face and Riddler. He opens the door, gets bonked on the head.
So they decide, okay, Batman's going to take, what was it, the Batwing or the X-Wing?
Batwing, yeah, that's the
Batwing, and
bird.
Robin's going to take a little boat because the Riddler had built up this island where the box is getting all its power. Basically, the cable company.
The cable company.
Which is in the middle of the friggin' ocean.
In like a freaking lighthouse.
They go there. They're playing Battleship. The Riddler and Two-Face. And they blow up Robin's boat. So he's underwater, and then there's like men with spears underwater. It's like, where did these guys come from?
They had the goons waiting for him, I guess, in case they blew him up.
What if the goons were right next to one of the battleship bombs?
Right. Like, he just blew all those guys up. Like, they just come out of nowhere. Like, there's just scenes in the movie, kind of, where it's weird, it just happens. Like, there's no setup for it, just like...
And then Robin somehow puts them in the net when he's under the water?
Yeah. So they capture Robin.
And then Batman... No, they didn't capture him yet. Batman ejects from the friggin' Batwing. He's out of there.
Right.
Because they're about to blow him up. He's in the water. I think that's where the net comes in. I don't remember. They're both on the thing. That's where he says, "Holy Batman," because the rocks are filled with holes. That line makes no sense. It pertains to nothing in the film.
It
To
was
the point
just to
where Batman,
throw.
he's like, "What? Oh, it's holy, because it has holes." And he goes, "Oh,
Yeah,
that shouldn't have even been
I,
in the
I
movie."
I think that was like the point, was like to throw back to it a
Yeah,
little
it
bit,
was.
but kind of make it look, like, oh, okay, well, don't say that again.
Yeah, how do they
Um,
separate then? Because Robin gets his 5 minutes with Two Face,
yeah, they're on the rocks and everything, and they're fighting.
and he goes, and Two Face is messing with him. He goes, "Oh, justice will be served. Just kill me right now." Robin's thinking of what Bruce told him, that you become even more
Yeah,
enraged when you kill the guy or whatever, when you get the revenge. So he's like, "I'd rather see you in jail." He helps him up. And he goes, "Oh, you're a good boy, but you're stupid." And he puts a gun right to his head. So they kidnap Robin. Batman is trying to climb this thing. There's like this big circular thing with like spikes on it that's trying to fucking crush him. There's literally an opening on the other side. He just goes up the opening and
yeah,
cuts the chains of that thing and breaks it. It flips upside down, and then the spikes are hanging up. And that's going to come into play later. So he climbs up. He's in Jim Carrey's lair, the Riddler's lair, which looks fucking awesome. And he sees that they got Robin and they got Chase Meridian. They're locked up, and they're going to drop them right into the rocks that they have for the ocean or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
yeah.
And he's telling them to do the riddle and all this other stuff. And then Batman throws a riddle at them. And he's got the prototype suit on, like you said earlier. So he's able to, like, have the lenses come down so you can see, like, when everything's, like, all screwed up. And that plays into his riddle. So he tells him the riddle, whatever. Joker's like, "Please, you're as blind as a bat." And he goes, "Exactly." He takes the batarang, friggin' flings that thing, breaks the structure above Riddler, which is the box. It's all the energy. He's screaming like a little girl. And that's the scene where he goes, "Bummer," and he hits the button. And
Yeah,
it drops both of them, and Batman, man, he jumps down and he grabs both of them, barely from falling.
and the way he does it too, because who's he get? He gets he gets the girl first. Girl's fine. Then he gets Robin at like the last second, right before he falls into the spikes or whatever.
The
It
music
was
is
just
great
like,
here. The camera work is
yeah,
great. He gets everybody. Everyone's safe. They all climb up. Then I keep going to say Joker.
Two Face.
You got Two-Face. He's got a gun pointed at them. He goes, "Ah." He starts laughing like the Joker and
He
shit.
slips and he freaking falls.
No, he didn't slip and fall. He was right there. And then right before it blows their head off, he goes, "Hey, aren't you going to flip your coin?" And he
Yeah,
goes, "Oh, you've always been a good friend, Bruce. Thanks for reminding me, whatever."
he
He
flips the
flips his
coin,
coin.
and
Batman's got like
Bruce
50
throws
coins.
like 20 coins.
Throws them up there. And Two-Face is like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." And he falls
Tries
off.
to catch his coin, and he
Yeah.
falls off.
And he's dead.
Yeah, and that scene was
And
cool
then
too.
he's
'Cause
got his
like
arm up.
He's in the water. Yeah,
And then the friggin' coin hits his arm. His hand or
yeah,
whatever. That
and
was
his
a really
head.
cool little touch there.
Yeah,
Then they go back. Jim Carrey looks like he was melted. It literally looks like they melted his dead body or something.
he looked like freaking Zordon when they broke the
Oh,
freaking
yeah.
power chamber. I was like, what the hell happened?
Yo. And he's like, "Why can't I kill you?" And then he tells him, "I want to stay Batman. Nobody can mess with me." And it's like, who cares? You think he cares that you're going to stay Batman? He don't give a fuck. And then all of a sudden, he puts his cape around him and he starts screaming, and you see the bat.
Like, ah!
He must have fucked him up.
Yeah,
Then it cuts to Arkham. And Chase Meridian is talking to Dr. Burton. It's a tribute to Tim Burton, who left the project. But they still used his production company for the costumes and stuff like that. Props. And he's like, Edward Nygma has been screaming all night that he knows the true identity of Batman. So she goes in to confirm, like, okay, is this guy going to say Bruce Wayne? Not that anybody's going to believe him anyway. Which, who cares?
Right.
You think Arkham is going to be, oh yeah, shit, we got to investigate Bruce Wayne now. Because this crazy guy that's locked up said it.
Yeah. At this point, they think he's just a nut,
So she goes there, she goes, Edward, they tell me you know who Batman is. Do you remember me? I'm Dr. Chase Meridian. He goes, how could I forget? And she goes, who is Batman, Edward? And he goes, I'm Batman. And he's like...
He's flapping his freaking straitjacket.
Yeah, he's flapping his straitjacket. He cut, like, lines into him so they're like a bird.
Yeah.
And he just starts laughing and goes crazy. Then she comes out, she talks to Bruce, says, your identity's safe. Not that anybody's going to believe this guy anyway. And they say thanks or whatever, and then they cut to the end. It shows Batman and Robin running with the bat signal.
Mm-hmm.
Great music, great ending. And then it hits the damn credits, and you hit into YouTube.
Kiss by Rose, YouTube, all that.
Kiss by Rose is later in the credits, but right when you hit the credits, you see the bat signal or the bat logo, and then you hear U2. It's like, dude, you're rocking and rolling as you're leaving the theater. Yeah. Great fucking movie. I know we didn't explain this properly. I know we were lost a little bit in this review. Yeah. But this movie is fantastic.
It's the soundtrack again, great. I mean, you don't hear a majority of the songs until the end, really. But obviously the Batmobile scene with the Offspring playing is like one of the iconic scenes from this movie.
That U2 man, right at the end, man.
The fight scene with Robin too. We didn't even really talk about that too much. Like that fight scene was like something out of Power Rangers. Like that was so freaking good. Like he's like beating the crap out of
everybody's ass.
Like it was crazy.
I like how he's like. What did the guy say to him? The guy in the makeup said something to him, and he punched him, and the guy goes, and his makeup is like.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't believe he got punched. Like that was fun.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It was just a crazy, just great action. Some cheesy moments. Like there's just moments with Commissioner Gordon where he's like speaking gibberish and stuff. He's like, all right, Commissioner Gordon, just go over real quick.
Well, remember when he was like a serious character?
Yeah.
Remember in the first Batman movie? Fucking Joker, like, has him fucking shot in the neck with that thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that was some serious shit.
In this movie, he came off more like 66, Commissioner Gordon. It was funny to see him when he was on screen, because he was just like, he's just kind of there. He didn't feel like James Gordon like in the other two movies.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to talk about when Chase put on the bat signal. And she's like in lingerie.
She's in lingerie. She's trying to hit on him and everything. And then
she's like feeling up his fucking bat nipples or whatever.
Yeah, he has the bat nipples.
He's like, the bat signal is not a beeper. And again, if you were in the 90s, beepers were cheaper than cell phones. A lot cheaper. You would beep somebody and they would find a payphone and call you back. That's how it worked. Those are like non-existent anymore, if they even exist. But that was the whole thing. People probably won't get beeper references, you know what I mean, in the future. But she's feeling him up. She's in lingerie. Commissioner Gordon's in his fucking pajamas. He's like, I saw the signals. Everything okay? And he goes, yeah, whatever. He jumps off the building.
Does he live right downstairs?
Commissioner Gordon's standing there with Nicole Kidman in lingerie. And he's probably like, what the fuck is going on up here? What's Batman doing with this lady?
He walks in like as she's taking it off too, and like she doesn't put it back on until like he's like, "What's going on here? I heard the signal, whatever." And she puts it on.
I heard the signal. He saw the signal.
He saw the signal, or whatever he says.
I heard the signal.
I heard the signal. He heard the signal with his eyes. He saw it.
Commissioner Gordon's Batman.
Yeah.
His fucking daughter's Batgirl, right?
Does he live downstairs from like the police station? Like, how did he get there so fast? He's in his pajamas and everything.
How annoying! How it's annoying when they play the fire drills over here. How annoying must it be at fucking 3 o'clock in the morning? You see the bat signal shining in your window.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, I'm moving to Metropolis. We don't have to deal with this shit.
No. Freaking crazy scenes. Like the way it is, that scene to me was the funniest part of the whole movie. Is like she's like desperately trying to hit on Batman, getting his pants.
At the end of the movie, Bruce Wayne gets shot. He gets shot in the cheek, right? In the house.
Yeah, he falls down the stairs and gets knocked out.
Then do a parallel Batman with Thomas Wayne. Who is that, his son?
No, that's his dad.
What?
Yeah, they did an alternate. Well, Flashpoint, the movie that's supposed to be coming out. In the comic, his dad in the Flashpoint universe, Bruce gets killed. His dad becomes Batman, and his mom becomes Joker. And they're
That's
like
okay.
fighting.
Don't explain
they're like
that
fighting
to me.
each other.
We're good. So Batman Forever.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hot take. I love the Burton films, and I love Michael Keaton as Batman. He's the best Batman ever.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people. The Nolan movies. What was that guy's name again? John Connor?
Freaking Chris something.
Chris.
What was his name?
What's this guy's name? Who was Batman in the Nolan movies? That's how memorable he is.
It's too late for this. God damn it, Batman.
Christian Bale. Batman. There you go. You were right.
Christian Bale. They were right.
Not Chris something. But Christian Bale. Christian Bale. Those movies are good. No denying that. But he ain't got shit on Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton was the best Batman. I'll give you that Christian Bale was the second best Batman.
I think so too.
But, and Adam West, come on, Adam West was, yes, it was a kiddie show.
It was goofy.
But
Batman's
he
dancing.
Was Batman.
Yeah.
Why did I do this? Michael Keaton, Adam West, then you got Christian Bale.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, man. I mean, but hot take here, I like this film a lot more than the first one in Returns. And I love Batman Returns. I think that's one of the best sequels ever made.
Definitely.
And it's a really good fucking film. It's really good. But as far as action, whatever little romance there is in this movie, adventure, summer blockbuster, this is your movie. This is a perfect film. It came out at the perfect time, and it was... I love it.
I think this movie...
I used to watch Batman Returns all the time on tape. I saw it in the theater, and then as a kid, I watched it all the time on tape. I think I've watched this movie more. Because a lot of people don't realize this. They're like, ooh, Jim Carrey was miscast back then. No, he fucking wasn't. He was on fire back then. That's why they picked him to be the Riddler.
The Riddler, too, at the time, he was like the most... He was like what Joker was. Like, he was in all the comics during that time in the 90s. Like, they gave him his own... They gave him his own series. Like, he had his own comic. Him and Two-Face, too. Like, they were doing this whole storyline with him and Two-Face at the time. So that kind of fit the movie as well.
But, you know, like, the new movie just came out with the new Riddler.
Yeah.
Where he's, like, this assassin guy and all this shit. That's great. That's it. I like when they do a different take on a character. Because it keeps the character going. But people are comparing him to Jim Carrey. And they're like, oh, Jim Carrey was miscast back then. No, he wasn't. He was on fire. He was the most popular comedian in pop culture at the time.
Yeah.
He was perfect for this film. He was the main draw for this movie. Not Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer was popular, but nobody really gave a fuck about Val Kilmer in a Batman movie. When you say Jim Carrey's going to be the Riddler back in 1995, you're like, holy fuck. That's the perfect Riddler.
Yeah.
The rest is history. I think Chris O'Donnell was a perfect Robin. And by the way, Christian Bale, he auditioned for this film to be Robin. A lot of people don't know that.
And he became Batman.
He became Batman later on. But right now, he became Batman 10 years later.
And I think, too, just this movie pays homage, too, to, like, everything at the time and everything before. It has little bits from the 66 show. It has the stuff from the animated show with the way Val Kilmer kind of tried to be Bruce Wayne.
They kept some of Burton's stuff in there. Schumacher added his own little thing here.
A lot of the sets, obviously, like you look at the sets where Robin's fighting or when they show the scenes in Gotham, that's Tim Burton's Gotham. And you look at the next movie, Batman and Robin, the Gotham is not the same.
A little bit.
It's a little bit, but it's like way more outrageous.
Some of the structures are kind of still Burton's.
Yeah. But
Batman and Robin, look, I can confirm when I went to that movie and I was shocked.
Nobody went to see it.
I thought it was because it was. I think it was. I thought it was some sort of a holiday weekend that it came out. I went in there. There was literally me and two other people in the theater, in Mamaroneck Playhouse. And I was like, that's weird. How come everyone's here for Batman Forever and all this shit? Nobody's here for Batman Forever. It must be the weekend.
June 20, 1997. That's when it came out. Batman and Robin.
I saw it and I was like, all right, whatever. Wasn't the greatest movie ever, but I understand it. And when you look back on it now, man, Schwarzenegger, who was top billing in that film,
yeah,
they overdid it with the puns.
And it's weird too because
I like the beginning of that film when he shoots them up in the rocket.
Yeah.
And they have to fucking surfboard down before the rocket explodes. I thought that was an awesome scene. But yeah, the beginning when they're on ice and everything, and I mean, come on.
I thought Uma Thurman was okay as Poison Ivy too. Like she did all right, but for this movie, they went like way too goofy and outrageous.
I think there was them more taking from the cartoon at the time and trying to throw it up on the big screen.
Not even. I think they were doing too much of like the '66 stuff because Batman's got the fucking credit. He's got the credit card
and all that.
And all that. It was
George Clooney.
Ridiculous.
I call him the down-to-earth, realistic Batman.
Yeah.
That motherfucker wasn't Batman nor Bruce Wayne. And that's not his fault. It's how the guy was directed. He was so thrilled when they gave him the role. He signed on for 3 movies. He got paid for 3 of them. He only did 1 movie.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, look, I feel bad for the guy. He was very popular at the time. Val Kilmer didn't want to come back. And they said, screw it, we're going to go with George Clooney. He's the next big actor in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was in the ER. He was doing a bunch of movies at the time. He was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the material, and that's where he needed to put his foot down on some of the stuff and be like, yo, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And he regrets it. He's done plenty of interviews saying that he wished he wouldn't have done it. And
the actors, when it comes to stuff like this, they really don't care too much for the source material. They really just like, okay, how does the director want the character portrayed, and that's how I'm gonna be, you know? And they take their role more seriously than they do the actual like character itself.
And I think that's where Michael Keaton differed.
Yeah, like
because
Michael Keaton.
He said, "What are we doing with the character? What are we doing here?" Schumacher laid it out, and he's like, "Not interested. I'll pass." Which, you know, it sucks, because I would have loved to see Michael Keaton go up against Jim Carrey's Riddler, man. And maybe we'll see that at some point with this whole Flash thing. Maybe not. Michelle Pfeiffer said she'd like to return as Catwoman in this Michael Keaton universe.
She's Wasp, too. She's another one who's in Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
Doing Marvel movies.
I mean, we'll see what happens down the line. You never know. I mean, I wouldn't have thought 30 years later Michael Keaton would come back as Batman.
He's coming back as Beetlejuice now, too.
And that's been... Beetlejuice movie rumors have been going on for the last 20 years. I heard that Warner Bros. Is trying to acquire Beetlejuice. So until then, you ain't getting a Beetlejuice movie. Anyway, any questions in the live chat for this film? Again, I like this movie a lot. I think it's one of the best Batman films. And you know what, to be honest with you? The Burton Schumacher movies, out of all 4 of them, if you want to put the close on this one, like this is the last great Batman movie that was made in the 90s, I'll give it to you.
It wraps it up.
It wraps it up and it holds up. It still holds up. It's a fun movie to fucking watch. It has a great soundtrack. Go on Amazon. You could buy it digitally or physically. It's about $10.
Yeah.
The Alchemist says if they ever get the Flash movie done with the crazy guy, yeah. I think the movie's done. It's just that the guy keeps getting arrested or something, right? That's what you told me or somebody?
He's doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
Or Richard said he got arrested the other day. But I heard he's been getting arrested a bunch of times.
He's been getting arrested through the whole thing. So it's not new.
Why are they hiring a guy that keeps getting arrested as the Flash? What's so special about this guy that they got to keep him? They got rid of all these other Batmen.
I really don't even like him as the Flash. A lot of people I know do. I don't know. I don't see it. He doesn't fit the role to me.
Well, you know what? We're getting Michael Keaton as Batman again. And that's the first and last time I'm probably ever going to watch The Flash.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll get rid of him. They say, hey, you know what, Flash? Let's just spun off into a Michael Keaton Batman movie.
I think after this...
Go Flash your ass out of prison.
They're going to get rid of him after this movie. They're not going to bring him back. Yeah. But Forever, to wrap it up for me, real fun movie to watch. Definitely puts that whole trilogy in on kind of a close. You can watch Batman and Robin, but it really is its own thing. It doesn't really tie to the older movies, except maybe with the scenes with Alfred. But Forever,
it's part of it. You can't say it's not. It's just not. It's not filmed the same style. It's not like that type of movie.
No,
the Burton movies are always their own goth, emo, darker type thing. All his movies are like that.
Which is why he was perfect for Batman, because that's what Batman was in the 80s, 90s.
Let me tell you something. They ousted him and all that because they wanted a more family-friendly approach. The shit that they're doing now is worse than what he did.
Yeah.
His movies are PG compared to what they're doing now with these characters. He would fit right in right now.
Definitely.
But look, they sell them in a box set, so they're all related.
Yeah. Get them.
Around that.
Forever, again, freaking Jim Carrey. A lot of people that give him flack for being the Riddler, I don't get it. He was great as the Riddler.
Perfect. There was nobody else at the time who could have got... People say Robin Williams. It's okay. But I think Robin Williams would be more like the 60s Riddler. Whereas Jim Carrey was Jim Carrey adding some of the 60s Riddlers to pay tribute.
And because that suit he wears when he shows up to the lair, that's the suit Riddler has been wearing for the last 20-something years in the comics. Dude, imagine
if he showed up to Two-Face's lair and he goes with the duct tape.
Before that, he just wore that freaking suit in the 66 cartoon. Right.
He
just had that jumpsuit on.
Cartoon? You mean the movie?
Or the TV show. The TV show, but the movie Batman Forever, this suit that he wears, it's that's a staple in the Riddler nowadays. You know him for the green suit with the top hat and all that. By the way, that Bat logo right there, somebody on eBay had lights. Yeah, the LEDs or whatever they were.
No, it's a neon light. When you go to the bar, you see the Budweiser lights or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
This guy had 2 left. I grabbed them.
No, you had to.
Dude, I had to. I had to. Cost me
My,
a couple of bucks, but I grabbed them.
yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to keep one in the store and one here. I'm going to keep two of them next to each other downstairs.
And yeah, there were rumors of that they're doing that Batgirl show for HBO or
He
whatever,
already
and they're
filmed.
gonna
He's right. The Alchemist is
keep doing
correct.
that.
Michael
Yep.
Keaton filmed the role for that. He's Batman again. You got Rob Patterson doing the Batman, and Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah. He's back. He's back, man.
And it was funny because they had the what did they have? They showed a bunch of movies there, the Comic Con thing or comic movie.
Was that like DC fucking? I forget what they do. They do it like
DC
every
something?
year.
Well, there was a rumor that, or not a rumor, but it was pretty much said that Warner Brothers is having another. They had another meeting last week on how they can once again figure out what they're doing with the DCEU. Because they want to close some of these doors again and then start over again while they got their current guys going. So who knows what the hell's going to happen. Warner Brothers can't make up their fucking mind. But if I get a couple of Michael Keaton movies out of it, I'm good.
He is the Batman. Trainwreck said it.
Michael Keaton, yeah, I just got that. Michael Keaton is the Batman.
You can't top it. Like he was Batman in the comics, and he was Batman on his own in the movie. Like he was great all around. I think some people kind of feel iffy about his Bruce Wayne, but I thought he was all right as Bruce Wayne. Like nobody's played the Bruce Wayne better than him, and nobody's done Batman.
Dude,
like,
Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton was perfect as Bruce Wayne when you watch Batman Returns.
Yes.
Him and Michelle Pfeiffer, they got the dance going. And they're both in the same boat. Because they both want to be regular people, but they can't.
Yeah.
And he found his match. With Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer in that film. It was like perfect. Tim Burton was good like that. Tim Burton wove all that stuff together and made it make sense.
Definitely.
The DCU is a complete disaster. They should have just copied Marvel's plans. They did, but they did it backwards.
Yeah.
They made the team up movies and then they did the separate movies. It's like, guys, you got to do the separate movies to build up to the team movie.
Right.
Nobody cares after the team movie. We all teamed up. Yeah, we killed everybody. Yeah. Now we're going to make separate movies. It's like, nobody cares. You already killed the big guy.
Yeah. The Snyder Cut, unfortunately, too, like, as good as it was, even then, it just didn't make sense with the build-up. You had two movies as a build-up. You had Batman. You kind of had Superman, Man of Steel, because obviously, this guy's Superman in it. But it was Superman a little bit, and then you had Wonder Woman, then the Batman movie versus Superman, but there was no really Batman movie to tie into it. And then you get everybody together, the Justice League, and they just threw everyone else in the Justice League and didn't even give them their own stuff.
Yo, Trainwreck is fucking funny. Bruce Wayne, why are you dressed up as Batman? Because he is Batman. Huh?
That episode of Spectacular Spider-Man, Peter's dressed up as Spider-Man, but nobody cares.
Why are you dressed up as Batman?
Actually Spider-Man.
I mean, you just had a fucking party where everyone was dressed up as people, dumbass. And obviously, if he's dressed as Batman, he is Batman.
Yeah.
But just so people know, Max Schreck was added in at the last minute. Originally, Batman Returns, Max Schreck's role was going to go to Harvey Dent. But something happened, or Billy D couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So they used the character Max Schreck.
I like they did the comic book sequel to the 89 movie where Billy D is Two-Face and they introduce Robin and Catwoman and all that. It's actually pretty good. It's a good read. And it's out already. The
And
graphic
shout out to Danny DeVito, man. Perfect Penguin. Perfect.
Yeah. He was.
And he's really that short. So, I mean, he was perfect all around.
he was the Penguin.
These movies were all good, man. Look, Batman and Robin sucks, but it has some good stuff in it, like the beginning. Like I said, when he's got them in the air pod and they're going all the way up, and then they got to break out, and then they ride the pieces down like they're surfing in the friggin' sky. That's great. But the rest of the movie, it's got problems. A lot of problems.
Yeah, you don't see Arnold too much through it. Like
I thought you see a lot of Arnold. What are you talking about?
Like you see Arnold, but you don't see him as like doing like you see him 3 times use the suit, as Mr. Freeze. But most of the scenes are him.
He looks like in the beginning when he flies out of that little rocket thing that's shooting him up. When he flies out, he's got wings. He looks like Ivan Ooze at the end of fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah.
When he merged with the Ectomorphicon. I was like, what the fuck is this?
And that scene, all the scenes where he's using the armor and everything like that, like those were like the most expensive scenes in the movie. So that's why you didn't see that throughout the whole movie. But I don't know. I think they could have done some better.
I feel bad for everybody involved in that because the cast was a good cast. The lineup was good. It's just
you get Batgirl, you get Robin, you get the whole Bat family at the time, pretty much.
And Schumacher took the brunt of that, and it wasn't really him; it was the studio.
Yeah, they wanted the merch. I don't know
how you go from the biggest blockbuster of 1995 to the biggest flop of 1997.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
Oh man. And it's crazy too because, like you said, Clooney signed on for those 3, 4 movies, 5 movies, whatever.
He was signed on for 3 films. He did 1. He got paid for
and then that 99, there was supposed to be that movie. I don't remember the title of it. They talk about it in one of the documentaries on the DVD.
Batman, why are you dressed up as Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, that's what I was laughing. I was like, but yeah, the movie, it was supposed to be like Scarecrow, and then like the Joker was going to come back at the end or something like that.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, it was weird.
Did you see him at the end of the Batman? He was smiling and he was dead.
He was dead, but it was weird. They were going to bring the Joker back.
Jack Nicholson wasn't coming back for that shit.
They weren't going to bring back Jack Nicholson. No, it was going to be probably a different Joker.
Dude, remember when Heath Ledger died? Jack Nicholson just told the fucking reporter, I warned him. It's like, what the fuck?
He warned him about.
If he played Joker, he'd end up dead? I mean,
oh,
God. What the fuck, man?
Dude.
He couldn't say, oh, I feel bad, I'm sorry. He goes, I warned him. I was like, holy shit.
I think it was like a joke.
This guy didn't give a fuck. It was a joke over a dead man's expense.
Yeah.
The guy's not even dead like 24 hours yet. And he's like, I warned him.
Yeah. Fucking fucked up.
Like, what the fuck did he know? Look for that interview. It's on YouTube.
Batman Forever, the arcade game. What do you remember about that?
I remember playing it in the last 10 years when I knew it existed.
Yeah.
I'm sure I knew it existed as a kid, but
yeah,
I didn't own it.
Freaking Mortal Kombat, Batman.
So Mortal Kombat, I played it. One of my friends had Batman Forever on Super Nintendo, and he was like, "You could chainsaw the guy's nuts if you pick the goon." That game sucks. The Super Nintendo, Genesis, all those ports suck. The PlayStation and Sega Saturn Batman Forever games are really good because they're just beat 'em ups.
Yeah, well,
they're
that's
fucking
the
weird as
actual
hell because you power up and light everybody. You electrocute a bunch of fucking people. I don't know how, but I think
that's the actual
really
arcade version.
Yeah,
like that's kind of for the home ports. The other two, the Genesis and whatever, like
we're talking about Batman Forever games. Now, Batman Returns, they had a lot of good home ports, and
and the first Batman.
The original Batman had the Nintendo game, which I never owned, but I played it in the last 10, 15 years, and it's a pretty good game.
Mm-hmm.
So
Batman and Robin, what the hell was that? It was like GTA and fucking.
I just saw
Batman
that,
Arkham. Yeah, that game.
Maybe I should play it on stream one. Maybe I did play it on stream. I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Maybe I should try it again.
That game has a timer though, so if you do play it again,
Game
definitely Game Shark the timer so you can like actually go around the city and do stuff. Like it's like a pretty decent sized map, and you can pick the vehicles and stuff. You
You
can
know
pick
what
like the
came out
motorcycle.
20 years ago, this year or next year?
Yeah.
Or maybe 2004. I don't remember. No, I think it was this year. Batman Dark Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and Xbox and GameCube. Yeah.
We rented on GameCube, me and Mario. Okay? And you start on top of a building. And there's all these fucking... the HUD is like telling you, like, all these buttons do this, this, and that. So Mario goes to jump off the building to glide to the other building. He jumps off the building, and you just see Batman falling into traffic. And Mario just screams, "What the fuck?" And I was like, turn this shit off. We turned it off, never played it again. We returned it to Blockbuster.
Oh man.
Horrible game.
The camera always screwed you over in that game.
I should play that on stream. I'm sure a lot of people played that game.
You gotta play the Aquaman game where you're just fucking swimming for 24 hours.
Didn't I play that once?
Did you? I don't remember. I think you did actually.
I don't know.
Aquaman.
Look, I got the GameCube with the GC loader. All my games are on it. I could probably pop that on. And it's on Xbox, right? Dark Tomorrow?
Yeah.
The original. Maybe we'll check that out. I don't know.
It was a Dark Tomorrow because freaking.
It was a Dark Tomorrow if you spent your money on it. That's for sure.
Your wallet was dark. There's nothing in it.
An update to the PlayStation situation from last night, really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sony locked out. You can't go buy the cards anymore. For now or Plus. They block people from buying Plus. Because they don't want you to stack it.
Yeah.
What's going on with Sony?
Oh, crack.
They'd rather not make money than to lose a couple of bucks. That's old Sony. Anyway, that's what killed the Vita, by the way. I remember playing Batman Forever on SNES. The game was trash. Yeah, I can barely understand what that game even is. As
it took me.
He was a bad Batman, and Bruce. Yeah, he was. He was the down to earth, realistic, and I don't blame him. But look, that's how he was directed.
Yeah. It took me like 20 years to figure out how the hell to use the freaking bat grapple so you could go up the ceiling in that game.
Oh yeah, because you got to hold like down or something, and up is to jump.
Yeah. It was like so stupid the way you had to like do it.
I heard you can't even use the cards you bought. That's true.
Nope. Fucked up.
So those fat stacks over there at Walgreens won't work. Funny. I could still buy the 1 year of Xbox Live Gold. The cards, and those will work.
Mm.
PlayStation, if anything, if you're going to say a digital future is grim, you need to look at Sony, not Xbox. Because look at this, you can't even buy a card now and activate it. Because they're afraid you're going to get a good deal through a loophole that they created.
Yeah.
Something wrong, buddy. Xbox announced the Bethesda show. Yes, we're gonna be together that weekend, so we'll stream that live. We'll all be together, so we will stream that live for you guys, and we'll give our thoughts and opinions. Which I think is on purpose because the same premiere date. It's the same date Premium is supposed to drop. Premium drops on the 13th. The day that we're not together.
Mm.
So there you go. So any questions on Batman Forever? I know I'm blue, and that's because I'm looking at a 55-inch TV right now. Eventually, one of these days, this lighting situation will all be taken care of anyway, so we'll figure it out.
One of these days, I won't be here. Have a better set.
One of these days, you'll be in the same room as me and we'll be podcasting together. How about that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You better get me a commentary job wherever the hell you land. Just not in Japan. I ain't flying over there for that.
Yeah. I thought about going to Double or Nothing, but same time, I can't go anywhere right now.
Dude, you're almost out.
Yeah.
We're in a couple of days. It'll be 5 months in. You're almost out, buddy.
5 months out of hell.
Any questions on Batman Forever? Any refutes? If you think Jim Carrey shouldn't have been casted, who do you think should have been casted?
I couldn't even think of anybody, honestly, outside of Jim Carrey at that time. I mean, who else was known?
Robin
You
Williams.
know,
But, I mean, look, a lot of people wanted that, but at the time, people were they flocked to the theaters for Jim Carrey. He was the man.
yeah.
I don't think people understand. He was super popular. Today, it's different today. People get popular, but they're not like superstars. And this goes with athletes. This goes with celebrities. Back in the 90s, man, if you were a basketball player, you were a superstar. You were in the public eye. You were part of pop culture history. If you were an actor, the same thing. A popular actor. Today, it's not like today. Things are different. If you were a musician back then, MTV, all that shit, you were famous and popular, everything. You don't really have that anymore because the mediums are different now. And a lot of these actors really aren't memorable.
Yeah.
The ones that are coming up today. A lot of them are flavor of the month for a couple of years, and then that's it. You never hear from them again. So, it's just the way that everything changed. But back then, everything was popular, everything was on fire, and everyone ran with it. They were like, okay, Jim Carrey, he's one of the best comedians in Hollywood right now. He's perfect for the Riddler. And that's the way it goes. Now they hire random people, like the Riddler, the guy plays the Riddler now. I don't even know who the fuck I don't know who the fuck the guy is, but you know what? They only hired him because they paid him $10 and a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's Batman because he played Dracula. Jim Carrey was the man back then, says Trainwreck. Tell me any different. Find me somebody that won't say that. Comedian-wise. In movies, he was on fire.
It's crazy to think.
Dude,
It's
Liar Liar. Okay? I liked Liar Liar when I saw it in the theater.
Mhm.
But as an adult, I think the movie fucking sucks. But Liar Liar made a shit ton of money.
Mhm.
It was Jim Carrey. Everyone ran out to go see that movie. He kind of fell off with that one movie, oh god, the movie where
The Penguin movie.
no, the movie where they followed him throughout his life. I saw that movie and I was like, yo, this movie sucks. The trailer made you think it was another Jim Carrey.
Truman Show.
The Truman Show. The trailer made you think it was another Jim Carrey comedy movie. When you saw that film, you were like, holy fuck, the trailer lied to my ass. This movie's horrible. And then he's also uncredited in Simon Birch.
Yeah.
He's in the movie Simon Birch, but he's not credited. Which is very strange. I remember how popular he was back then. Everyone loved him. Oh no, Trainwreck, you're full of shit. Because some kid that was born in 2007 told me different.
Yeah.
He was there. I wasn't.
Yeah, I couldn't see Jim Carrey like. I could see Jim Carrey even playing other Batman villains, but I couldn't see anybody else really playing the Riddler. I can't even really picture Robin Williams playing the Riddler, to be honest.
I could.
Mhm.
There was a rumor that Nolan wanted Eddie Murphy to play the Riddler in the Nolan films. And I was
Damn.
like, okay, that would be good. But how is that going to fit into the Nolan films?
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, if we don't have any more questions, we might wrap this up. I want to thank everybody for coming in tonight. We had a lot of people in here checking this out, so that's pretty cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to thank Richard. He super chatted us and said, hey, could you guys do this review on this movie? I said, sure. Took us a couple of weeks because I got sick and all that. And Eli had stuff to do for work. Well, we had the time tonight to sit down and talk about it. I know it wasn't the best review in the world because we didn't watch the movie tonight, or I didn't. I watched it last week on 4K.
Dude, I got out of work at like 6, and I texted you. I was like, I texted you. I was in the parking lot. I was waiting for this guy to get out of work. He wound up staying an extra 2 hours. So I went and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to find a ride back. I got back here at like 6, and I was just like, whenever you're ready, whatever. So, like, I'm dead tired. Like, I'm fucking bloodshot right now.
We're going to head on out. But
So,
I want to thank Richard for the show to be possible.
Yeah.
And the next request, he super chatted last night. We will watch Nightmare on Elm Street 2. We might include Frank and Anthony in that one.
Yeah, I can do that one too. I watched that movie a bunch of times.
And, he's right. He likes that movie a lot more than some of the other films. When I was a kid, we all hated that movie because it was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
But as an adult, it's probably one of the best Nightmare movies that are out there. It's not the best. Obviously, Dream Warriors always wins. We get that.
I need to watch.
It's a nice little
Dream
follow-up
Warriors.
to the first film without... Like, there are some callbacks to the first film, but it's a nice little follow-up. And to be honest with you, it's a pretty damn good horror movie.
Yeah, 2 was great when they're in the freaking asylum or whatever, like for the kids and everything. Freaking Freddy's getting them all and everything. I gotta watch it again. Like, I loved it.
Nightmare 2 is just a slow burn.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, it gets terrifying.
Yeah. 1 and 2 were like my favorites. 1, 2, and 5 was like one I also watched. I never watched 4 and I never watched 3.
Wow, I'm sure.
So I gotta watch 3 and 4. But
you haven't seen Elm Street 3 and 4?
No, I've never seen them.
The third was the third. You could literally go the first movie and then the third movie, because the third movie directly connects to the first. The fourth movie connects to the third, which again, the fourth movie was like this blockbuster success summer movie because it rode off the back of the third film. And everyone today is like, nah, the fourth one sucks. He became funny in that film. It's like, but that's Freddy. That's what he does.
That's the Freddy everybody knows from the fourth film, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, that's a gruesome film, too. The cockroach scene and all that stuff, there's some nasty shit in that movie.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that was, once again, it's kind of like Batman Forever over here. A lot of people saw Nightmare on Elm Street 4. But that's where the fucking buck stopped. Because the fifth movie, there was an idea about pregnant and dreaming, the baby dreaming while you're awake. And Alice being pulled in while she's awake and not knowing why. It's because the baby's dreaming. She's pregnant.
Yeah.
That was a good idea on paper, poorly executed in that film. And I think the director, he was French, and he did the whole goth vibe thing.
Yeah.
The underworld, like the underworld movies. Like, that's what he was going for. in this film, and you can't. It just doesn't work.
Freddy's
That guy
like
was ahead of
he
his.
comes
That guy was
to
ahead of his time
you.
by like 15 years.
Yeah, like Freddy comes to you in your dreams and fucks up your shit. He doesn't like. There's like the whole underworld thing was kind of weird in that movie.
And again, that's got some nasty scenes in it too. Like when
Yeah,
he's in the water and he spits up, like it's fucking nasty, dude.
yeah, it was disgusting.
The fucking motorcycle scene where the
Hmm.
thing is going into the guy and everything. The guy becomes the motorcycle and his skin flies off.
Just yeah, ugh.
He's got thing drilling into his skin and all that stuff. It's nasty. So again, that movie is. I don't like that movie that much. I think it's the least favorite of the whole franchise. But
Yeah.
it's got some good stuff in it. If you're a horror fan. And obviously,
But
when the girl, he's feeding her insides and everything, she's throwing up and everything. That's fucking disgusting, dude.
yeah,
That is some fucking nasty shit.
it went a totally different direction with that movie. Like it went even. It tried to top the grossness factor, just because I think also because of that, the director, and because of like the whole subject matter too. Like it was just like they really went
That's
over
where
the
the
top.
wheels fell off the franchise, literally.
Yeah, and six obviously
I
came
know,
in to
I know
wrap
people fucking shit on Freddy's Dead,
wrap
but
up everything.
people shit on Freddy's Dead, but I'll give you my honest opinion. I like Freddy's Dead a lot
Yeah,
because it's a Freddy movie. Yeah,
it's about Freddy. It's
it's
his
not
backstory.
it's not the greatest Freddy movie ever made, but I like it over 5 any day.
Yeah.
Anyway, until then, we already did a review on Freddy's Dead. That's on the channel, so if anybody wants to watch
Freddy's
it, go ahead.
dead.
Freddy's Dead.
The music, what was that? Freaking the
I
music.
remember I was in Florida on vacation, and I couldn't find the CD, the soundtrack for the movie, anywhere. Because it had Google
Yeah.
Dolls on it, it had all these songs on it. Great soundtrack, by the way.
Mhm.
I checked everywhere, and I walked into this music place, and I'm like, "Do you have Freddy's Dead?" And the guy's like, "You mean the jazz? See the jazz song from like 1930 something?" I'm like, "No."
Which that song is in the movie, but then there's the
It's
new
in
version.
it's in the work print. They
Yeah.
put that song, that Freddy's Dead from like the 30s or whatever, that jazz song, that plays during the credits. But whatever.
You had the monkey. What was that band called? The Monkey King Band or what? That weird song at the end.
Oh, the bar song.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'll tell you who they are right now.
It was
I actually have that song on the deck with the Freddy thing that says "Rest in Peace"
Yeah.
from the end of the movie. If I, that button will be hit if there's like an event that sucks, like a gaming event. I want to go to movies, horror, Nightmare on Elm Street. I just wrote 6, I think. Junk Monkeys. Everything
Yeah, we go.
remains the same. That's the bar music that plays during the Freddy's Dead credits. I don't know why that plays. After the Iggy Pop song plays in the credits, it cuts to a picture of Freddy and says "Rest in Peace," and then they
And then
play
the
this
bar
Junk
song.
Monkey song, and it's like a bar song, and I'm like, why are they playing a bar song? I guess they wanted people out of the theater. Play this shitty music so everyone leaves. We gotta clean the seats.
There was like 30 other songs on that soundtrack. They couldn't pick one of those. That's what's funny to me about movie soundtracks. It's like, wait, there's like 30 songs on this, but they only played 3 of them in the movie.
The work print of the Freddy's Dead, they played the Elm Street music from the other movies throughout the movie.
Mhm.
Because in the theatrical cut, they're in when they get into the house, and then the house turns into Freddy's house. When they're walking upstairs, you hear like a dog howling or a wolf howling. In the work print, you hear the Elm Street theme. You don't hear dog or wolf howling or anything like that. So a lot of that stuff is different. And that, if you watch the TV version of Freddy's Dead, they add the deleted scenes in there.
Yeah.
where his daughter finds out from her mother that she's adopted. That's not in. There's an extended scene to that. It's actually his daughter's birthday. Dreadpool, what's up, man? How you doing?
Name Kim DN, man.
You find out in the TV edit of Freddy's Dead that it's Maggie's birthday. That this is
Yeah.
all going down on. But they cut that out of theatrical. She finds out that she's adopted. You don't realize that that's her birthday. She went to the mother's house to celebrate her birthday. Her mother had the cake for her and everything. That's when she started asking, okay, what's going on here? But you wouldn't know that watching the theatrical. And New Line Cinema just never puts out the director's cuts for any of that stuff. And now they're owned by Warner Brothers, so they're really not going to put that out. But yeah, any questions before we go? This guy Eli's got to go to sleep. I might come back on. I don't know yet. I might have to go to work and go get some stuff. I got Switch Sports coming out tomorrow.
You want to live Batman forever?
You know what's funny? When I see the opening of this movie, it says Batman and then it says Forever. I think of Freddy from Freddy's Dead screaming Forever. Because he says, I am forever. They should just add that in the 4K version. Oh, I got the 4K version. They should make
Freddy in it.
in the 12K version, add Freddy's voice, just say Forever. They own it. It's Warner Brothers. They own the footage.
Do it.
Can we get Freddy versus Batman Forever?
I think this movie, though, I think
kidding.
Forever, it would benefit from that Schumacher cut. Like all those scenes going back in there or whatever. I think it would help it out a little bit, add a little more flavor to it, and expand on some of the like subplots.
You know what another good Joel Schumacher film is? That I didn't even know he directed. I loved this movie for 30 years. Falling Down.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Great
Falling Down.
fucking movie, man. I just watched it the other day again. That holds up.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
We got to find the TV version Jeff was talking about.
Oh, I saw that version. What's this?
Yeah.
Family stuff. No!
We just have to find that.
I just
that
have
scene.
I have to scan the internet and see when it's going to air on TV and record it. What's this?
Yeah.
Family stuff. Forever should have been forever. They must have used the Xbox number scheme, or is it the other way around? You know, we talked about Xbox in this movie.
Yeah, Jim
Pretty
Carrey.
much Jim Carrey's The Box was the Kinect. Or Project Hobart. Wink, wink. Streaming stick.
Yeah. Except the streaming stick
Hobart
that
College.
steals your
Hobart
Hobart.
College.
Hobart
That's
College.
that's what the streaming stick is called. Project Hobart.
Hobart University.
I think of Hobart College from Coneheads. Oh my god, imagine if Adam Sandler was the Riddler. Oh my fucking god.
Oh no.
That movie would have been done.
That it would have been over. That would have been. They definitely would have been talking bad about that movie. Freaking the other guy from freaking Judge that was in Judge Dredd. Freaking
Oh, Rob
Deuce.
Schneider? The animal?
Rob Schneider.
He is an
Yeah.
animal.
Oh my god.
I don't even think the crew talks to him anymore. He's a nut.
Yeah, remember that joke they made about him in Family Guy? Apparently that was all true.
Family Guy.
Yeah, they made a joke about him.
Yo. All I know is the shit he was in right in the last couple of years. Yeah, he's pretty much nuts.
Yeah.
They bring back Project Natal. Yeah, Project Natal was a Connect, right? Natal, whatever they call it.
Project Natalia Neidhart.
I remember that, man.
I don't
remember reading about that whole thing and, oh, it's going to be this and that. Yes. Dude, when I watched it, I was like, that's totally Xbox. The box. They even called it the box.
It was green
And
and
it's
everything.
green. They kind of made a reference in the new one, right? Because Frank fucking spoiled the new Batman movie for me. He
Yeah.
said the fucking Riddler in the new Batman is. They find out it's like a guy that looks like Bill Gates.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
Bill
like,
Gates.
shit, another Xbox reference with the Riddler?
All the
Kinect.
green,
The
the green
Kinect.
stuff.
The Kinect.
You make
Let
a
me,
Riddler Xbox
let me tell you
limited edition.
something. The fucking the Kinect 2.0, the one that came with the Xbox One, makes a
Mm.
great webcam. Because last year I plugged that into my Windows computer with the adapter. Dude, we were getting really good video and audio.
But
I didn't even have to
if
have a
I
microphone.
if I find a new Connect out there, I'll freaking
I
grab
got a
it.
ton of them. Does
Well,
1080p.
I'll hit you up afterwards.
I'll send you one. I don't care. You just got to get the adapter for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, the Kinect is no joke, man. That's a good camera. I mean, people didn't realize they got a pretty good fucking webcam almost 10 years later. I bought a second one for a backup. Yeah, I got plenty of them. People keep trading them in. And they work. I test them all out.
The new like the ones that came with the fat uh X's, right?
The fat Xbox Ones, yes.
Yeah. I said X's, but yeah, one. Xbox One. One.
Looks like Xbox might have won the generation.
Well.
The way that Sony's going, man, I don't know what the fuck they do. It's ridiculous. So when we ended the stream last night, while we were still on, it had come out that Sony cut off the cards for all PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now. So if you go to the store and buy those cards, either one, you can't redeem them. Because they're afraid you're going to get a little good deal.
Mm.
Completely anti-consumer. Connect 3.0 is what they use in the airports, the Azure servers. Yeah, don't they just take the Connect and just, like you said, doesn't Newark? I could have sworn somebody said that Newark Airport has the Xbox One Connects. Has like security cameras.
I'd have to confirm that next time I go to Newark.
I think somebody posted photos about a year or two ago.
Yeah. Yeah, Sony.
That's deceitful,
And
Sony, of course. Because if you went out and bought some and you didn't redeem them yet, you're stuck until after June.
yeah, and just because I have perspective from the other side of
Sony's
the
going nuts,
world,
man. I don't know.
even like Japanese people, like they're fed up with Sony too. Like right now, the big like cell phone games and
I think it was Newark.
Nintendo,
What?
cell phone games and Nintendo are like the only things Japanese people care about, like right now.
Right, because
Like
they're mobile.
they're
Their mobile. They had their mobile boom about 10 years after we had our mobile boom. So and
and
they're
they
still in
have
that.
like yeah, and they have phenomenal service like everywhere out there. Like you can watch YouTube on the train. You know, you can play games on the train, all that, be on
Right.
the internet, Wi-Fi on the train. But like the big ass fucking PS5 that takes up half the damn counter in your house, like there a lot of people I talk to don't even they still have PS4 out there. Like they're not even on the new PS5 or anything like that.
Even
Like
harder core opponents starting to question PlayStation loyalty customer. You have to. You have to. Even if you only buy PlayStation,
mhm.
you need to look at this subscription service that they're giving you, and you're like, they're losing their fucking minds. The company is losing their mind. They don't know how to do this.
No, yeah.
It's typical Sony. When I saw the subscription thing, and I was going to go nuclear last night until I read that article properly, and then I explained it in the show. I was like, all right, this is why I'm not going to... But towards the end of our show, it had come out that they cut off the cards. You can't do that. That's illegal. So if I go to Walgreens and I buy PlayStation Plus card, I come home, I can't redeem it. Well, I can't get a refund at Walgreens because it's a digital item. I just got robbed.
Right.
Now, Walgreens by my house has a shit ton of Xbox Live 12-month cards. Not a Game Pass Ultimate. Live cards. $60. I could buy the big fatty stack, and I could redeem all those codes for the next 30 fucking years. No problems. Even though they want you on Game Pass Ultimate. It's just typical Sony. They did it with the Vita. Okay? The Vita, they had the two versions. They had the Wi-Fi one and the 3G one. After you bought the fucking Wi-Fi one, or the 3G or whatever, you had to buy the memory card, which the biggest memory card was $100. You're looking at $399 for a Vita and a memory card. No games.
What was the biggest thing? 32?
But listen to me. No games for $399.
Yeah, you're.
Well, what else is $399, Eli? The PlayStation 4. Are you gonna buy the Vita and hunch over like this and break your fucking neck and all this other shit and fucking go blind, or are you gonna buy a PlayStation 4? You're gonna buy a PS4. You're not gonna buy the fucking Vita and go like this.
Dude.
And you know what they did? They fucking killed the Vita. They were like, you're not going to pay the money for a proprietary memory cards? Fuck you. The Vita's dead.
They killed
Instead
it for
of them
me.
saying, you know what? We'll let you use SD cards. We know that people are struggling for, memory. They can't afford all that stuff. They did the same with the PSP. You had to have that Magic Gate memory card that they had for their fucking cameras that nobody cared about. And they were overpriced. If the Vita would have had proper memory card support, it would still be alive today. They would have murdered fucking the DS. They would have slaughtered them. PlayStation TV. Okay, Vita TV in Japan. It did PlayStation 1 games, it did PlayStation Vita games, it did PlayStation Portable games. The size right here. Okay? That's how big this fucking thing is. You know what killed the fucking Vita TV?
You couldn't do
They locked it down. They locked it down to 720p, which you're dead. You're dead. In a 1080p world, you were dead. They locked out Netflix and Hulu because they wanted you to buy movies on the fucking Sony store. That killed the Vita TV. It was dead.
And
listen to me. Had it had 1080p out of the box, Netflix and Hulu support, it would have killed the Apple TV that year. Because you literally have a fucking PlayStation 1 this big that you could put in your pocket and take it anywhere with you. Hook it up to a hotel TV, get a controller, and you're good. PlayStation 1, Vita, and PSP games. And you got Netflix and Hulu in 1080p. Would have killed it.
And I would have mentioned you couldn't play certain Vita.
They hold themselves back all the time, Sony. This is Sony's problem.
There was like a huge whitelist of games too for that game for the TV because all the games that had the touch controls they didn't optimize any of them.
Some of them they didn't. But once
you couldn't play Uncharted or none of them.
Yeah, but once you hack it now, you could jailbreak it. You can use a PlayStation 4 or 5 controller, and the touchpad is the fucking touchpad.
Yeah,
they could have done it. and They were just lazy. They didn't care about doing it.
It was like 30
they always hold themselves back and they blame everybody else. It's like, no, don't be stupid. Yeah. Give us the product, but make it enticing for us. They don't do that. Like Nintendo. Imagine if the Switch had proprietary memory cards. That would be a fucking disaster. And yes, they have their own branded SD card, but you don't have to buy those. You can buy the regular SD card and pop it in there. Imagine, though, if you had to buy a proprietary card for that. Mm-hmm. Forget it. Forget it.
Over with.
If Nintendo said, yeah, we're going to make our own cards, and they're not going to work on any other machine and all this other shit, because we're afraid people are going to pirate it, but done. You're done. At least they got the idea. You know what I mean?
When I saw a 32 gig card for the Vita was like almost $150, I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm out of here, bro.
Now you get to perform with the PS5 controller. Yeah, right? You got to blow into it and everything. I don't know, man. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Sony, they don't get it. And they're giving you the demos. It's like...
Mm-hmm.
you want me to pay 120 a year to get
Like fucking
2-hour demos that can be released up to 30 days after the game comes out. No one's waiting 30 days after the next game comes out. And what games are these? Every developer is not going to do this.
right.
And they're saying the devs are going to have to. And it's like, you're gonna have people leaving your platform. You think developers are going to sit there and work more hours to do that stuff? If Sony's paying them to do it, that's an upside because they're going to get paid that way. We don't know how this works. Because it's like Xbox with Game Pass. They're putting whatever games they want on there and they're not getting paid. No, they're getting paid. I like how people think Xbox is just putting games on Game Pass without getting permission. And screwing everybody over. It doesn't work like that, my man. They got to make deals.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you go to a restaurant. All the music you listen to in the restaurant, they got to pay the rights for that music.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of restaurants in the last few years they just turned the music off. But you have to pay for all that stuff. They are too deep in believing their own bullshit. I think you're right. I think they're brainwashing their audience to think this way while they're trying to figure out what they're doing. Because this is embarrassing. These tiers, them going back on what they're saying right before the service launches, them trying to cut people off from getting loopholes that they created. It's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing.
The fact that they didn't
if they really
even
wanted
tell
to make
you,
money, if they really wanted to make money, and this is the whole thing, they would have said, guys, you know what? Wink, wink. Stack up all you can because once June 13th hits, man, it's over.
right?
So stack up as much as you can. You know how many subscriptions they're going to sell before the service launches? They're going to make a shit ton of money for nothing. Then after the service launches, you can't stack anymore. You got to buy the new cards every year. Boom, you're done. Everything's good. You made this much money over here, and you're going to make that much money in the future. No.
Right.
The Japanese, you can't steal from us. No, we're going to cut that off. We're going to turn that off. And people say Xbox is going to do this shit. Get the fuck out of here. Sony's doing it in front of people's eyes, and everyone's like, these exclusives. Meanwhile, this is going on down here. People are so full of shit, man.
Like, yeah,
They're
just
literally
discontinue.
screwing people right in front of their face, and they choose to look away.
They discontinue a service and don't even warn you. It's like, yo. Like,
Oh, remember PlayStation View? Oh, yeah, you guys have till the end of the month. It's like, what?
wait, hold up. I just bought a new card for like whatever, a new fucking.
Well, Anthony's dad had PlayStation
Subscription.
View, and he just got used to it, and then they said, hey, we're getting rid of it. And his dad's like, what the fuck?
Right.
And he moved him over to YouTube TV. PlayStation is saying they are doing it to them. They are doing it themselves. They just promoted 2 dudes on PlayStation to produce demos. Very odd. Yeah, I don't think that's. I think the demos thing isn't going to last that long, to be honest.
And then you were talking about how they're doing that fucking preservation shit or whatever. They're doing the backwards compatible bullshit.
Again, half-assed.
Yeah.
And they're only doing it because they see Microsoft's making money on that shit.
I don't even know how to do it. Like, and they were the innovators of it. They started backwards compatibility. That was like the whole incentive of getting
Remember the
PS2.
PlayStation 2 when they said, guess what? You could trade in your PS1 and get a PS2 because it plays PS1 games. Everyone's like, hey, shit, I only have to have one console now that does both.
Right.
It was a selling point. It was great. I really think the PlayStation died after the PlayStation 2. Because PlayStation 3, 4 years after the fact, when it was affordable, everyone got one and it was decent.
Yeah.
But they really, the tidal wave ended after 2. And yeah, they brainwashed everybody with the 4 and all that, and that was their best selling thing, whatever. I really think that PlayStation 2 was the last great PlayStation console, all around. PlayStation 3, a couple years later, when it dropped the price, It was rough around the edges, but I think it had more variety. I think it was a better machine. Once the 4 hit, they were like, everyone's on Xbox 360. Let's put a lot of 3 games on 4. And then they did this exclusive bullshit where they were saying, oh, look how great we are. And that's when the whole thing, when I was like, come on, guys, this is bullshit. You guys are cheerleading PlayStation 4. Like, who cares? And then we went into this whole thing, and the 5 is just doing bad. People are buying them, but they're not fucking happy with them.
Well, the 5 has even less coming out for it than fucking PS4 had. Like, ridiculous. Like, I didn't...
Sega started backwards compatibility. You like, come on, what's wrong with you? The 32X.
The 32X was the backwards compatible.
I still have the Nomad boxed. Downstairs, man.
Sega Nomad.
The Nomad was the original... No, it wasn't the original Switch. The Turbo Express was the original Switch. Then the Nomad.
Yeah.
The Nomad was great because you could hook up the Nomad to your TV and play it as a Sega Genesis. And it had a second port on the bottom of the machine, so you could plug in a second player and you can have somebody play the game with you. When I went to Florida on vacation in '97, we did that. I still have the bag. Put a controller in the bag, a couple of games, and we got to the hotel room. I hooked it up to the TV, plugged in the controller on the bottom of the Nomad. I was player 1 on the Nomad, and then player 2 had the controller. It was great. Mega Drive did backwards compatible. Nomad was the original Switch.
Nomad.
Yes, with the power base converter, you're right. Sega was ahead of it. They weren't. People didn't get Sega, dude. I read a thing today, or I saw like a YouTube video was recommended to me that the Nomad, the Master System failed because it had no third-party support. I was like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? The Master System failed because nobody fucking had one over here. It was like an obscure console. I had like one, but I got it after I had Nintendo.
Yeah.
And there was some. Let me tell you something. The Master System was better than Nintendo. It had the graphics, it had the audio, and it had everything like that, but it wasn't popular. Once the Genesis hit, boom. Everyone was getting Genesis. And then everyone started buying Super Nintendo. And that's when the real war started. But Master System was kind of an obscure product.
It was like, back then, games on Genesis, games on Sega, and Nintendo were like totally different games. Like, you could have, a game like Spider-Man on Sega, and then on Super Nintendo has
Sega
totally different
always stayed
levels.
true because they were arcadey. When you bought a Master System, I think Super Hang-On was on there. Arcadey.
Yeah.
It's all arcade games that they were making. They had Rocky, they had Rambo, I had Rocky. They had all that stuff. They had all those third-party games on there. They had Michael Jackson on there. They had all that shit.
Yeah.
They had their own games. Nintendo had their own games. But again, nobody really had a Master System. Everyone had a Nintendo. Turbo Blast Processing. Sega's, I love Sega. I wish they would have come back. But they know that they can't. They can't compete now. Microsoft picked up the mantle for Sega, and that was it.
The Saturn Dreamcast thing, that was it. Like, people had enough.
And you know what? To be honest with you, those are pretty damn good machines.
They are. They're underrated.
The Saturn, not so much for 3D, but you know what? Saturn had some innovative 3D games and had a lot of fighters on it. That's an arcade system, my man. That's an arcade system. The Dreamcast is so literally
many IPs.
Dreamcast is literally based off the Naomi board in the arcade. That's it. It literally
it's the same exact board.
So, the Dreamcast, they finally got it right. You were playing the arcade in your house, and that was it. It was over.
It was all because they didn't have the stupid DVD player.
All the DVD player killed it.
The DVD player was
People would be like, no, it was the piracy. And no, it wasn't the piracy. It was the DVD player. Because I was with people, and it was my last year of school, everyone fucking said, I'll just wait and get the PS2 that has a DVD player. Because I don't have a DVD player. For an extra $100, I'll save up for the extra year. That's
Dude,
what killed it.
imagine.
And yeah,
Imagine
obviously,
SmackDown on the
obviously their guy
Dreamcast.
that was funding them, he passed away. That killed him even more. It was done. Everything came to a close. Series X is the Dreamcast 5. Yeah, man. Hopefully they figure out a deal with Sega and we can make that all happen.
Yeah. But just imagine, like, freaking SmackDown and GTA and all that stuff on Dreamcast. Like, would have been awesome.
Well, technically, SmackDown was Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, yeah.
Ukes literally just used SmackDown and made Royal Rumble. But again, that game was in the arcades. It was on the Dreamcast arcade machine.
Yeah. Arcade Perfect, too. Like, the same freaking game, pretty much.
The OG Xbox motherboard is loosely based on the Sega arcade motherboard. Thank God. I'm telling you, man. Sega was great. This is another reason why I want Xbox to buy Sega. Yes.
Bring back some of those IPs. Bring back Altered Beast, Jet Set Radio, all
Let me
those
tell you
damn.
something. Let me tell you something, motherfucker. Eli. If they buy Sega, I want the backwards compatibility team to fucking make some Sega Saturn games backwards compatible. I want Microsoft to put every single motherfucking Sega-owned game, Saturn, Genesis, Masters, everything on Xbox Game Pass.
Yes.
Or Xbox Live and I could buy it digital. Gotta do it. You have the ultimate library there. So this is why it blows my mind about the PlayStation. The fucking system's called PlayStation. But I can only play PS5 and PS4 games on it. No, motherfucker. I should be able to play PlayStation 1 through 5 on the PlayStation. This is where they lost their way with all this. They have the biggest library in the world right now. And they choose to do nothing with it.
Like, PS1, like, backwards compatibility was the reason a lot of the freaking franchises carried over from the PS1, to PS2. But then it's like, it's been like 20 years with like, and we haven't had like a Bloody Roar sequel or Battle Arena Toshiden or none of that stuff.
Well,
no
listen to
Jumping
me.
Flash.
This is why they probably announced a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2 and Dead Space. You know why? Because the minute they became fucking backwards compatible, they saw all these motherfuckers spending $20 on these old games, and they're like, that's the barometer.
Yeah.
That's the barometer. We just sold, since Microsoft made Max Payne backwards compatible, we just made an extra $20,000 on it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe we should make a Max Payne remake. EA, Dead Space is backwards compatible? $20? Holy shit. We just sold 30,000 extra copies of Dead Space. Maybe we need to make another one. People don't see it that way. But these companies are looking and watching. PS2's biggest game library in a generation. Yes. And why can't we play all that stuff? Obviously, rights issues and all that, but the stuff that Sony owns, they own a lot of it. PlayStation 1, they own a shit ton of games that they created in their studios. Where are those games? PlayStation 3, enough with the fucking bullshit that, oh yeah, we can't emulate it. No, you can emulate it. And you know what you can also do? When you make your next revision of the Slim or whatever, solder a fucking cell chip to the board, alright? This way, we're good to go. You don't have to worry about developing an emulator. You just put the game on the store, we download it, we play it.
Yeah.
Right? Mind-blowing. But then again, Sony would rather have those chips laying in the warehouse collecting dust. We know we have a shit ton of those chips.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they sold them to somebody who can't use them. Sony's brain is like buffering. Exactly.
I just don't think they have people that care about like gaming in general.
Because they brainwash their
that work
audience.
there.
That's where the fucking nobody cares about old games. They've brainwashed the PlayStation 4 audience to think this way, to think forward and not backwards. You know why they did
Right.
that? Because they announced backwards compatible on Xbox, and that's a plus. And Sony was trying to put a negative on it by saying, "Yeah, we don't want old games. We want new games." But now they see how much money they're making on Xbox, they're like, "Oh yeah, yeah, fuck, we want some of that money." And I think your PlayStation Classic kind of proved the point. Because they said, if these motherfuckers want to play old games, they'll buy the Classic for $100. Everyone said, fuck you. And when the thing became $20, everyone ran out and bought it for $20. It's an easy... I remember when I used to be excited for Sony? It was an easy sell to try to lock up their highest tier. They brainwash their fans and turn into brainwash themselves, too. Yes, I've seen it, Dreadpool. Dude, I had, a couple of years ago, I had a guy that worked at Best Buy. He walked into my store, and he literally goes, "It's a great time to be a PlayStation fan." And I looked at him, I was like, actually, it's a great time to be a gamer in general, because you got all 3 different machines there. You could pick and choose. But he was fucking brainwashed into the Sony pony guy. And look, if you only like PlayStation, that's fine. But you have to call them out on their bullshit. Just because they made God of War Game of the Year doesn't mean that they don't fuck up. Do you really think they're going to give you God of War Ragnarok 2-hour trial? You really think they're going to do that? What's going to be the bullshit excuse when that's the exception? I want to hear that one. I want to hear what they're going to say when they don't give you the first 2 hours of that game.
First 10 minutes or 20
And
minutes.
they definitely aren't giving it to you day one, because it says in the statement they can give you the 2-hour demo 30 days after launch. So within the 30 days of it launching, they could post that demo on the 29th day. Meanwhile, everyone ran out and bought the latest God of War because everyone wants to play it. They don't want to wait an extra 30 days. So what the fuck is the point?
Mm-hmm.
What's the point? Yeah, the fanboys think Sony could do no wrong. It'll be 2 hours of cutscenes. Exactly. That's what we said last night. It'll be 2 hours of bored. The kid's older in this game, so is he going to call him man? I don't know. I'm telling you. I don't know what to expect. I just don't understand why Sony can't just be the old Sony. They could be consumer friendly. They can make games that are different variety styles. They're stuck in this whole storyboard gaming shit. It's like these games aren't even games anymore. They're just fucking movies. That's why I quit playing Horizon. It's a great... When you can play the game, it's good. But a lot of it's fucking story-based. And it's like, my man, I want to play a fucking game, okay? The story comes to me secondary. Like Miles Morales or GTA. I could turn that shit on and fuck around. I haven't beaten GTA. I got like 2 hours in and I was like, alright, I want to screw around. And I never went back to the main story. Miles Morales, I fuck around and then I ended up beating the game. Because I was like, alright, let me just get into the story, get in and get out. But when I fire up Miles Morales now, I'm fucking around. I'm not replaying the game again. I already beat it. Because it plays good. They make good games. The thing is, though, it's just you're caught up in these stories that you don't want to be involved in.
They're too caught up in the narrative and not enough in what the game is supposed to be, an actual game.
Like Gears of
Oh.
War, you're playing the game. Look, your lights went out. They're coming after you. You bought too many cards.
No.
You stacked up. Gears of War, man, you're running and gunning and everything, and the story's following you. Imagine if I'm in an intense gunfight and then I gotta talk to somebody for like 10 minutes in Gears of War, and I gotta ask him like 50 fucking questions.
You gotta get the freaking dialogue tree and hit it like 20 times.
No, man, it's running and gunning. It's arcade style.
Look, I understand for dialogue trees for stuff like Mass
RPGs.
Effect, Skyrim, RPGs, but like when you have a set character and there's like you know who it is, this is who the character is. I don't care about a dialogue tree. I want to know the story of the character. I don't want to build the story of the character. The character was created by somebody. I want to know what they were, what the journey is, what the story is with them.
Look at Ocarina of Time. You run around, you talk to people really quick, and you keep going. You
Yeah.
don't fucking talk to somebody for 20 minutes. And you go to Lon Lon Ranch, go to Lon Lon Ranch. All right, I'm going to Lon Lon Ranch. I go there, I do what I got to do, and I go back to the fucking kingdom. I don't go to Lon Lon Ranch. The guy's like, hey, you know what? You should go over there and then come back here. And then when you come back here, we'll tell you to go somewhere else. Then you come back here to get the fucking milk. You go to Lon Lon Ranch, get the milk, and you go back to the castle. That's it. And Sony does that shit on purpose to extend the gameplay. They make you go on fetch quests. God of War is a fetch quest. Most of the game. Because every time they tell you, go this way, you go that way. No, you don't want to come here. You want to go there. And then you go there, and then they're like, no. You want to go up that mountain. Then you go up the mountain, and the guy's like, this is the wrong mountain. You want to go down to that mountain. It's like, where the fuck am I going? Why are you wasting my time? Tell me where to go, I'll go there. Let's fight. Let's play the game.
Yeah.
These fetch quests, they extend the hours of the game. And people are
It's
thinking,
like-
oh, this is gameplay. No, it's not gameplay. You're being fucked
Like
around
Skyrim.
because they want to get more hours out of you, so you think you got a good deal for $70.
Like how many times are you gonna go to that same cave and kill the same like group of bandits? Like, like they do that shit for no reason. It's annoying. Just make the game, make the story, have it planned out. Don't freaking stop the game to explain the story. Explain the story in the games.
Gears
Like
of
you
War
used
story
to.
goes along with the flow of the gameplay. Well, that's why God of War does that to an extent. But God of War sends you back and forth all the time. Gears of War, you're going straight. You're going straight to the goal, and that's it. No bullshit. You don't get to the fucking Marcus Phoenix's house in Gears 4, and he goes, you know what? I think you got to go all the way back to the base, and then come back here later. No, you go to Marcus Phoenix's house, they're blowing all this shit up. He's like, get on the fucking motorcycle with me, or whatever. You're driving a motorcycle, he's shooting behind him, boom. You're getting out of there. You're not going back. You get what you got to get and you get out. And look, that's fine. But they're making all their games like that, and it's ridiculous. I need variety. I need Twisted Metal, I need Jet Moto, I need some of these old fucking games again. Remake them. And don't give me half-ass versions of them. Be PlayStation, for God's sakes. Be PlayStation. We didn't have Twisted Metal on PlayStation 4 at all.
Nope.
There was no SOCOM game on PlayStation 4.
Hasn't been a SOCOM game in freaking years.
PlayStation 3, SOCOM 4 was the last one. They have, like, nothing. They made that one Killzone game at launch, and it sucked.
It sucked,
And instead of them fixing it or saying, you know what, fuck these guys that made this game, we're going to take a couple other guys out of Guerrilla Games and we're going to make another Killzone, and we're going to do a better job. No, they killed it. It's dead. Okay?
Killzone has been killzoned.
Dreadpool says MotorStorm.
Yeah.
In 60 FPS, where is it?
It was Battle Arena Toshinden. It hasn't been one since PS1.
Yeah, but they don't own Battle Arena.
Yeah, who fucking Kira or some shit or Tecmo or whatever.
I think Tecmo or whatever. There were 3 of them on PlayStation 1. And there was one on the Saturn, or 1 or 2 of them on the Saturn. Because I sold
Yeah,
one on the Saturn.
I think like 2 and 3
I
or
had
more.
Remix or whatever it was called on Saturn.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just they lost their way, man. And it's sad because that's the PlayStation that I want.
Hmm.
I don't want this fucking PS4, PS3 spilling over to PS4 bullshit. Fuck that. People are like, Xbox is to make the new dashboard.
I want my Toomba back.
Well,
Toomba
they don't make a
3.
new
Let's
dashboard
go.
because it's a good dashboard. And number 2, your dashboard's a fucking pain in the ass to navigate through. And number 3, instead of making the same games over and over again, Sony, why don't you make fucking variety like you used to?
Mhm.
If they make those games on PlayStation 5, I'll be happy. And I'll come on here and I'll tell you guys, I'm like, hey, they got really good stuff now. They're going back to variety. They're going back to PlayStation. That's
Yeah.
what made the brand. Not this exclusive bullshit. That's something that they started to... They created a narrative there, and they brainwashed their fucking audience.
Yeah.
And now when Xbox is doing it, Xbox is buying all the games, and that's not good, and I don't like what they're doing, and Game Pass, you mean poor people can actually play games now? We're all fucking poor. At the end of the day, we're all poor. I used to go to Blockbuster and rent games all the time. That was the thing you did. And like, I will always mention this. Frank's nephew, his family doesn't have a bunch of money to buy him games. But they bought him an Xbox Series S because they called me. They're like, do you have an Xbox Series S? We want to give it to the kid. We want him to play video games, but we don't have money to buy, PlayStation and all this other stuff. I was like, yes, I will give you a Series S. They paid me for it. And the kid got Game Pass. And the kid is loving it. He's able to play all these games. And now every time it's his birthday or whatever, or Christmas, I give him Game Pass. And his mother calls me up and says, thank you so much. This means a lot. And he can play more games now. It's perfect. It's literally perfect. Poor Florida's the most expensive state to live in now. ... But I'm telling you, man, like everyone can play games now. That's a good thing. Who cares what their motive is 10, 20 years down the line? Yes, we know Microsoft wants to go all digital so that you have to subscribe to everything. We get that. But at the end of the fucking day, my man, that's where it's going. That's where it's going. What are you going to do? Get a PC and play on Steam if you don't want to do all that. But that kid, I can tell you right now, that kid's having the time of his life. Playing all those games on Game Pass. And not having to worry about nothing. So, when people say that it's bullshit and all that, they go fuck themselves because they don't know what people are really doing. They don't know people's situations. So, if you went back to 1993 and gave me a fucking EverDrive for the Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, that would be crazy. That would be the best. I would kill for something like that when I was a kid. These kids today, because of all the stuff that was guinea pigged off of us growing up, they reap all the benefits now. How cool is it? You're a 10-year-old kid. Your friends come over, you can play whatever game you want during a sleepover. Right? Isn't that the ultimate? We used to have sleepovers and play. I didn't have much money back in the day. We only had like 5, 6 games on each machine. If we could go rent a game and all that, then that's more time than with the get in the car, go to the store, see what they have, see what they don't have, pay more money to rent. Now, kids, they have sleepovers. Yeah, let's go turn on the Xbox. Let's see what's on Game Pass. And they were there all night picking out games that they want to play. They play their games, jump into the next game. Boom, done. How is that a bad thing?
Right.
People have Netflix, right? because they don't want to have collections in the house.
It's the next. I mean,
Who
it's the next
cares?
step.
Let me tell you
We're heading
something.
towards the digital stuff
Let me
now.
tell you
You know.
something. Everyone created this shit because everyone ran to Netflix. When Netflix went all digital, everyone ran to Netflix. They sold their DVD collections, all that shit. Spotify came out, everyone sold their CDs. I'm telling you, if the games weren't $70 a piece, nobody would have a problem with all this. But because these games are $70, $60, they feel that they have value that they have to hold on to. Which is fine. That's your personal item. That's great. But I'm telling you, if video games were $10 or under, every single game, everyone would just buy it off the network. No one would go to the store and waste their time and money on a disc. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And everybody knows it. Now, if you're a collector, yeah, great. Again, people might get misconstrued by this. If you collect physical games or you want to buy physical games, that's fine. I'm just telling you, like, this is where we're going in the future, whether you like it or not. It's just the way that it is. I'm not one to fight the future on this stuff. I follow the tech, and I'm like, you know what? All right, we'll see how it goes. And I think Game Pass is awesome.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's it. And if it makes one little kid happy out there, it was already worth it. People don't look at it like that. Everyone looks at it. They look at their own situation and they get bitchy about it. But you don't understand. There's a lot of people out there that can't afford this stuff. And that's fine. But I hate when people go, well, if they can't afford stuff, how could they pay $15 a month? They fucking don't! They don't pay $15 a month. People have birthdays. People have Christmas. People have special occasions like Easter. They get the fucking cards. They redeem the cards. They don't pay $15 a month. Mind blown, right? Which one will it be, Batman? PlayStation Premium or the Dark Knight's PlayStation Plus? Xbox Reward. Yeah, I mean, look, a kid's not really going to do that, but people like me and you, we're definitely going to redeem. I got $10 in rewards right now. And I'm waiting. Waiting until my game comes out. And I'll use them up.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. A lot of people don't realize this stuff. Oh, 15 a month. I don't pay 15 a month. I stacked it for 3 years, something that you Sony guys can't do right now. Every Black Friday, I stack up on the cards when they go on sale. When Xbox Live goes to $49.99 on Newegg every couple of weeks, I grab it. I stack and stack and stack and stack. I don't get billed for shit. I pay my one-time thing and that's it. It's over. Eventually, will they get rid of the cards? Maybe. They're good for gifts. That's why I think they still haven't gotten rid of the damn cards yet. $600, get a second job. Oh, I remember that. I also remember, Dreadpool, that the PlayStation was supposed to work with my refrigerator, my microwave, my appliances in the house. And I remember Sony marketing the... I know it's revisionist history now, but I remember Sony marketing the PlayStation 3 as a fucking computer. They said, this is your computer. You don't need a gaming console. You need a computer. The PlayStation 3 is being marketed as a computer. It supported Linux, and that was their selling point. This is a computer that plays games. Nobody remembers that. This guy does. I used to stack when Best Buy had their sales. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
It's like the best time to get those cards.
I bought some for Eli once. They were on sale. I got like two, like buy one get one 15-20% off, and I was like, Eli, here's 3 months. Um, PlayStation was supposed to control it, yeah, because what's his name bought a shit ton of them over there, right? What was it? I think the military bought a ton of them,
They bought a bunch of PS3s,
and
to use Linux
they put
or
Linux
whatever.
Yellow Dog or something on there, right? And then the
Yeah.
update killed that because GeoHot hacked the fucking thing, and they said, delete it, delete it. And that guy probably got fired. He spent the military's money on fucking bricks.
Oh man, that freaking poor freaking probably specialist or
When Sony said they were going to replace PC, that was a rook for Bill Gates to jump in on Xbox. You know what? I heard that Bill Gates just wanted America to be in the living room. He didn't want Japan to be in the living room. He thought that was like a black eye on everything. He's like, we got to be in the living room, not them. And that's why he really got into the Xbox thing. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Again, I don't care what consoles people buy, but just don't buy into the bullshit. Keep your ears and your eyes open. If they start fucking around, you gotta open your mouth. And you
play the
gotta.
stuff you like, and if they're fucking around. Like,
They
don't go
should.
with it.
Dude, if I were
Fuck.
Sony, this is like an Xbox DRM moment for them. And
Yeah,
nobody's talking about that. Because everyone's like, oh, I see people on Twitter like, you should be proud that they're giving you demos. It's like, well, they're not giving me shit. I have to pay for it.
right.
And it's embarrassing. It's like a poor man's attempt to try to do day and date without doing day and date. If they just fucking did day and date, said it's going to be 120 a year, and we're premiering it with Ragnarok, forget it. Forget it.
Hmm.
The day that game hits, 120 a year, you're making all that money on that one day. You're making $120 off of one fucking game. You want to charge 70?
Yeah,
You can make 120 off the game and people don't even fucking own it. That's how fucking stupid they are. Because you can't sell Ragnarok for $120 unless it comes with like fucking 15 statues and shit like that. But if they said, you know what, we can launch this with Ragnarok, charge $120 a year, no loopholes, because we're going to cut off the cards in the summertime. So we're not being anti-consumer, and we're also keeping our shit together. They would make so much. They would fucking kill it. They would absolutely kill it. But they don't think like that. They think the way that they've been thinking for the last 30 years. The game sells the console. We take a bath on the machine, and we make the game. We got to raise rates, and those days are over, my man. Those days are over. We were building media PCs before they were a thing. Xbox was an easy replacement for that. Dude, I remember putting Xbox Media Center on my thing. And I remember they sold that remote because the hackers did it. And then Microsoft was like, so they made their own like dongle with the remote for the Xbox. And
yeah.
it was only in the PC section at Best Buy. It was in like a little blue box and it had like a long like gray remote. It's like Xbox Media Center or whatever the hell. There's no reason why you should have to pay for demos. Meanwhile, you could play any game. That's what I'm saying. Pay for demos or pay for full-fledged games. Take the full-fledged games. We're going to see, though. Are they going to give you a 2-hour demo of Ragnarok, or is that exempt? You know if that's exempt, everyone's going to go fucking nuts. You know it. And you know they're going to exempt that game. They're going to say some bullshit to make it so they don't have to make a 2-hour demo for that. Guaranteed.
Yeah. They'll find their loophole, their little way around it. oh, it's a Sony game, so we're not gonna
Oh,
do it.
this game was announced before the service was. Wink, wink.
Right.
I'm telling you, my man. That's gonna be. That's gonna be something. My first media PC was Windows 3.1.
I don't even
I
remember
had
my first computer.
3.11 or whatever the hell it was. Packard Bell 119 Legend or Legend 119. Packard Bell, my man. I remember I got the Packard Bell Christmas morning, but I knew I had gotten the Genesis. So my mom gave me the computer. I was like, screw the computer, where's the Genesis? And she was like, how did you know I got that? I wanted to play Sonic the Hedgehog. I said, fuck the computer, I want Sonic. Played Warcraft on TV in the living room. That was like the ultimate thing everyone wanted. They wanted
Yo,
to use
where's
it.
Warcraft like 4? Like,
They wanted to use their fucking PC on their TVs. They had web TV for a while and all that.
yeah.
And they had the CDI that had all the. My first Packard Bell was 100 megahertz. I don't even know what mine was because I threw it away. Frank still has it. He has the same exact computer that I had. We're gonna one of these days when this whole stuff clears up, we're gonna refurbish that computer and we'll stream it. I love that computer. I went on eBay and it's like $800 to buy. I was like $800. Holy shit! I had a Packard Bell, an IBM Aptiva. I had a Gateway in 2000. Came with a DVD player. Then I got the Dell in 2006, which I still have. But in between the Gateway, not the Gateway, in between the Aptiva, my mom took the computer away. She's like, "You're up all night using the computer." So what I did was the next time I got the computer back, I bought a bare bones PC off eBay for $80. I sent an $80 money order. Set your computer, a tower, no monitor or nothing like that. I go to plug it in, and it was a CPU that needed a graphics card. So the next time I got my computer back, I went on eBay, ordered a diamond card. Next time it got taken away again, I put the diamond card in the other computer, and I started using the computer. And then my mom came in and she saw me using it. She was like, "Where'd you get that computer from?" I was like, "I built it." And she's like, "Forget it. Just take your other computer back and use it." She's like, "No matter what I do, you're gonna use the computer anyway." So that's a funny little story, but we would always walk around when we were walking home from school. If someone threw a computer out, we'd open it, take the RAM and the hard drive out. The biggest thing was the RAM. Because the RAM cost money back then.
Yeah.
When I bought it, top model was 133 megahertz. We got whatever Caldor was selling over here. It was on clearance. I mean, what is the 119 Legend? I know you gotta go, Eli. If you want to go, you can go. Packard Bell.
Yeah, I'm gonna head out too. It's like 1 o'clock. It like just turned 1 o'clock.
Here it is.
So,
Popped right up.
yeah.
Well, if you want to, all right. So I want to thank Eli for doing this review. I want to thank Richard again.
Sorry, I was all over
recommending
the
the
place
review.
tonight. But,
I'll stay with
you
the
know,
chat room, and I'll answer some questions, and that'll be that.
everyone take care. Appreciate you, Perry, and everybody that came through. Sorry I was all over the place tonight, but I've been working ragged.
We both kind of didn't know what direction we were going, but whatever.
Yeah.
We did the show. Next time we do this will be Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Yeah.
So, take care, Eli. Stay safe.
All right, man. You too.
All right, peace. Okay, so the Packard Bell, I just Googled it. Packard Bell 119 Legend. That's the computer. I'll post a picture of it right here. I don't even know how much. This one says 115 Legend, but it's the same shit. Yeah, they were all the same. Legend 760. It's the same shit. I'm going to give you a picture of a 115 Legend, but it's literally the same thing. There's really no difference at all. It's the same machine. Here you go. That's my first computer. And then I had the IBM Aptiva, which I got the Quake demo disc for. This is the computer that Frank still has, by the way. We got our computers at the same time, because Caldor, I think, was clearancing them out. And our parents were on a waiting list or something. And they called them and said, hey, we got the computers in, come pick them up. That's small. Dude, that shit was long and heavy. It's not as big as a tower back then, but it was long and heavy. It was a heavy fucking machine, my man. Mine was double the width. Oh, man. These things were... And then I had a family member come... Because I put a Revel or Reveal sound card and CD combo pack in here to play Mortal Kombat 3 because they omitted the graveyard and the endings, the bio endings, the bios and the endings from the Super Nintendo releases. I was like, dude, I gotta get Mortal Kombat on PC. And I needed RAM extensions. Or I needed RAM. So a family member came. He worked at ABC. He had like these RAM extenders that fit the slots here. And we got enough RAM to run Mortal Kombat 3. After I installed the CD drive and the sound card. It was great. I had a Grievous gamepad. He plugged into the serial port back here. But yeah, this was the one that started it all right here. IBM Aptiva, I don't even know what the hell that is on here. The IBM Aptiva I got off Radio Shack. Remember shareware? Yeah, I remember shareware. I remember going to CVS and they had like Doom and Wolfenstein for like $5. You could buy the shareware packs. I still have some shareware discs too. Like, had Duke Nukem, obviously Wolfenstein, all that stuff. You go to Staples and they had the clear packaging with like a picture of the game on it. And again, they were like $5 for shareware. The Quake disc. I bought the Quake when I got the IBM Aptiva. They had the Quake demo disc there, and I bought it. I think it was $10, and it was a shareware disc, but it was a CD-ROM, and you could play the first episode of Quake, and then you could buy the game off the disc. So basically, what they did was they put the full versions of all the games, Doom. All the id games were on there. Hexen, Heretic, Doom, Doom 2, Ultimate Doom, Final Doom. All that shit was on that Quake disc. And what you do is you could play the demos, and then if you wanted to buy it, you would generate a code on the disc, call the 800 number, give them the code, and they would give you the unlock code after you gave them your credit card number. Some guy created something called QCrack, which I still have. I should do a video on it because I thought Modern Vintage Gamer was going to do a video on it by now, but he hasn't. QCrack was a little executable. You just type in the code that it generates on the disc, and it generates you the fucking unlock code. So that $10 Quake demo disc gave me all the full versions of those games for free with the little QCrack program. And that was it, man. I had all those games. I had bought Doom 2 anyway, and someone stole it out of my backpack at school. And I confronted the guy, and they really didn't do anything. The fucking counselors didn't do shit about it. They were like, "Oh, why were you in his bag? And he's missing stuff and all this." They didn't care. Fucking Doom 2 cost me like $50. What are you gonna do? We played Doom 2 in home ec. That's why I had it with me at school. But this guy fucking... And he was playing it with me, and the guy fucking went in my book bag at gym time and stole it. I'll leave this up. Yeah, I'm shocked that he hasn't done a video on that. I think that video would be interesting. Maybe I'll do the damn video and then he could fucking rip me off. Not that he watches this channel or anything, but I'm just saying. But I looked for videos on that. There's nothing on it. No one remembers QCrack. Just Dreadpool, I guess. It was called id Stuff? What was called id Stuff? I had the actual Quake demo. It basically was a little... can I find it? It's like, instead of the long box Quake disc, it was just the Quake disc box. It was a little mini disc. Quake demo disc. What the hell is it? Ah, it's right here. The program on the disc? Well, here's the disc that I had. I still have it downstairs. I never got rid of it. This cost me $10. Everything's on here. If you use QCrack, boom, you have everything on there. Full versions. IDDQD, IDKFA. Was it really called id Stuff? I don't know. I have to pop the disc in and see if I remember that. You're right. I think that's it. I think it's id Stuff. You're right. Here it is. I see it. It's crazy, man. Some good stuff. Remember that shareware. The best was when I got AOL. Then it was like Xbox. You could download the demos and you don't have to pay any money. AOL had the Duke Nukem demo. You just had to download it. Hang on, I'll be right back. Yeah, so that's the shit that I was doing. Shareware was awesome back in the day. I lived off shareware. So my old copy of Ultimate Doom somewhere. I still have Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza it's in a mini box. I guess it would be considered a long box PC game. That's a great fucking game on PC. I think you could download it now. I think it's like Vaporware or some shit. If you just Google it, I think the site comes up. A lot of the games are Vaporware. You could play them. Like, easily. You could just download shit. Oh, maybe I should close Discord. No, I can't close Discord because I'm fucking live. Duh. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's 3:05 a.m. What do I have to do at work? So basically, I've been repairing these Xbox One controllers, broken ones that I've had, trying to repair them so I could sell them. But I replaced the tactile D-pad tape, and they work when I press them. But when I put the D-pad back in the controller, it like double presses down. So I ordered new tactile tape because this tape I guess might be defective. I don't know. And I ordered new D-pads from Amazon. And I want to see what the hell it is. What's causing this issue? Because when I use my fingers to press the damn buttons, they work fine. So I don't know. It's an issue I've been having and I don't know why I'm having it. That nasty controller. Remember that Xbox that came in that I did last week? I opened the controller and my god. It was hair, dog hair. There was dead bugs in the damn controller. Like a little bug. Not a cockroach, none of that shit, thank god. Just a little bug. crawled in the controller, I guess, and died. It's fucking disgusting. I hit that shit with Ajax, scrubbed it all down. It's like brand new. But everything works except for the D-pad, and I have another controller, same thing, with the same tactile tape that I put on there. So I'm assuming that the tactile tape is fucked up, or it's the D-pad. So I'll be testing those out. Probably not on stream, but that's what I'm doing lately. The turd? Yeah. Hey, you know what? You're right. Instead of Amber Heard, it should be Amber Turd. Yeah, right? The throw up thing. You know, I might have to refuse taking consoles if the controllers are broken. Because it happens all the time. The last 3 Xboxes that came in, all broken controllers. One guy, he said his daughter, he traded in his Xbox, the fat Xbox, the VCR one, with 3 controllers. He's like, oh, it's my daughter's Xbox. Only 1 out of the 3 controllers worked. And I told him, I was like, I can't take the other ones because they're broken. He's like, you could just keep them and throw them away. So the one controller worked. I packed it with the machine. It's ready to go. The other 2, trying to fix them. And they all have their own problems. So I put those away for now, those other ones. And I'm working on these because these work, but the D-pad, I think the tape that I bought was defective. So I bought new tape and I'm going to try it out. Yeah, I still have them for spare buttons and stuff like that. Shells are always good, you know. Just, I'd like to fix this stuff and get it out of here, but, you know, it's not how it works all the time. Maybe the Xbox belonged to her at one point. Who knows? GameStop refuses. Yeah, GameStop doesn't take shit. I had customers. I still have customers. They come in and they're like, GameStop told me to trade my stuff in here. Like PS2 games and PS3 games. Because they don't take that shit. You know what I have for spare parts? My PS2... I'm sorry, my PS3 Slim. I went to turn it on and I got a black screen. And then I turn it on after that. I get graphical glitches on there. The fucking... the GPU's dead on that thing. But I have it in the closet at the shop for parts. In case I need a disk drive or whatever. Power supply, I'm good to go. Stuff saves money, but I mean, when these broken controllers come in, it costs me money. You know? It cost me $50 to get the tape and to get the D-pads. On Amazon. I could have ordered it off eBay, but, you know, it'll be here from China in like fucking 3 months. I gotta test these remotes out now, so I know what to do with them. And if I could fix them this week, then they can go up. But everything's gotta be fixed, everything's gotta be tested working, and then I can put a price on it. I test all this stuff out, man. I don't want anybody to get fucking screwed or upset or anything. If it doesn't pass my inspection, it doesn't go in. That's why, like, the products I carry, like the third-party products, I order an extra one for me, and I test everything out, see if it's worth it. And the stuff I carry in the shop, all the third-party controllers and stuff like that, I test all that stuff. If it passes my inspection, I sell it. That's it. I don't carry shit that doesn't work. Or if it doesn't pass my inspection, I don't carry it. It's the way it goes. Just like when I sell stuff online, they're like, the guy told me the other day, you put like the best descriptions together. And I was like, look, I'm just trying to get rid of this stuff. I gotta make the money, and being honest is the best thing to do. Because what am I gonna do? Lie, and then the guy's gonna do a chargeback and shit like that? It's like, then he's pissed, and I'm upset. Like, it's not worth it. Just be honest in the description and be done with it. So, yes, honesty is the best policy. So, if you're running a business, be honest with people. That's it. Facts. Yes. Hell yeah. Yeah, sometimes some stuff slips through the cracks. But 99% of the time, everything's good. Hey, sometimes you test stuff that works, and you have it for like 4 months, and then it just stops working. I've had shit like that happen before. But you got to apologize, and you got to move on. Make it right for the customer, and they feel better about it. That's what you got to do. I'm not there to make $1 million. I'm not making any money at the shop. All the money goes back into the shop. I've never taken a paycheck out of the damn shop. And I'm in business for 6 years now. So obviously I did something right by not doing that. The bills are paid every month. Store runs. That's why I do I do YouTube because I like YouTube, but now I'm able to monetize the videos and hopefully can make some more money. I got a family situation I got to take care of this year. So the more I can make on super chats and monetization and all that stuff, great. It's not a big deal. So I'm trying my best to get my ass in gear. I'm selling a lot of my personal stuff. And hopefully that situation will be rectified this year. And that'll be that. Then we can move on with life. I can try to have fun again. Instead of being terrorized by all this shit. But it's not a big deal. I'll be alright. But yeah, it's just I'm not there to make $1 million, guys. I'm there to run the store and do something. It's to get out of the house. So I do it. I try to take pride in my work. I try to make sure everything works good. Make people happy. And just keep the customers coming in. That's it. That's all I can do. I'm one person. Hopefully it works out sooner than that. Yeah, hopefully I hit the lottery, my man. If I hit the lottery, I'm getting the compound. I'm going to help my family out that needs help right now, and everything's going to be good. I'll get a compound. I'll have a compound. I'll have a podcast room. I'll have Anthony and Frank buy all the cameras and shit and hook it all up. Be great. Hey man, I've had a family member hit the lottery before, so I mean that was like 50 years ago, 40 years ago. That dread shit would be you. Hell yeah, man. Frank's gonna call it the Dread Shed. His shed. His shed's coming next. I think it's next month, next week. I don't fucking remember. Hey, you can't win if you don't play. Hey, who's to say I haven't been playing? I never used to play until this situation occurred. So yeah, it's all right. You know what it is. I got a lot of personal collectibles downstairs, like games and stuff like that. I've been selling those off. I had a lot of sealed Wii U games. I made a lot of money off of that. And it's all, I have it all in an account, a bank account, that's not to be touched. Because I got to help a family member out. Something really important came up last summer, and trying to get this thing done. So, get rid of all my stuff. I got sealed consoles still. I still have some other stuff, 32X, all that bullshit, Sega CD in the box. I got to try to get rid of that stuff because it's only going up in value now. All the old games are shooting up in price. It's crazy. So, like the other night, I did online sales. I made a lot of money in one night. I mean, it was about 6 hours worth of work, but I made a lot of money. So, I'm going to just keep it going. And again, that money, that's not like money that I'm buying my games with and shit like that. That's money that's going in that account. So, Dreadpool, gotta run. All right, man, take care. Stay safe out there, Dreadpool. Subscribe to Dreadpool's channel. Check out his Teespring. Check him out on Breakfast with Boom. On Double Barrel Gaming's YouTube channel. I'll probably be in there in the morning. I'm probably going to be up all night, so I'll definitely be there one way or another. And, yeah, he's got good hoodies and stuff like that at his Teespring, so check it out. Thank you. No problem, man. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Thanks for chatting and hanging out. Alrighty, buddy. I'll catch you there for sure. I'll say hello. Even if I'm cleaning the house and crazy stuff. Take care, buddy. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Just I got stuff that I got to get out of here anyway. You know what I mean? So that stuff's gonna hopefully take care of all that, and I'll be good to go. Yeah, I never played the lotto, but yeah, recently, yeah, that's been the thing. The past year, that's been a thing. So. If I hit the lottery, like I said, I'm gonna have Anthony and Frank go to Best Buy, buy everything they fucking need, set up a podcast room for me, and just get the lighting, get the cameras, get everything they need, and that'll be that, man. Until then, I'm just gonna rock and roll over here with you guys. It's not a big deal. So, well, I think this Batman review went on way too long. I want to thank Richard. If it wasn't for Richard, we wouldn't have done the show tonight. The show was a request from him. So, when you hit the lottery, I hope so. When. Not if, but when. That's what I hope. But yeah, I want to thank Richard for this. I might come back streaming in a few minutes with the game, because I could talk all night here, but everyone's going to be like, why is this Batman Forever review like 4 hours long? When we talked about gaming for like 2.5 hours. So, yeah. I'm going to end it right here. I'll come back in a few minutes. I just got House of the Dead on PC, so maybe I'll check that out. I don't know. But I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. So, Once again, I want to thank Dreadpool, Trainwreck, The Alchemist was here, Richard was here, RWK88 was here, Kevin was in here, and yeah, I want to thank all you guys again. Carlos Cruz was in here. And again, thank you to Richard. He super chatted and said, can you talk about this topic? And we were like, sure. And the next topic that we talk about, since he super chatted the other night, we'll talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. We'll do a Nightmare on Elm Street 2 review. Specifically 2. So, everyone take care. Stay safe, and I'll see you in a few minutes. All right, Trainwreck, I'll see you in a few.